Hi everyone, this is Cindy. Thanks for tuning in to the Cindy Hales Show. This is going to be episode number 4, and I'm going to be talking with my friend Lian Light. Basically, this episode is just us talking about really random things. We talk about Jiu Jitsu, music. She plays a bunch of different instruments, as does her husband. And then we also go over, coronavirus. This episode is a recent episode recorded in March of 2020. Anyway, enjoy the episode if you like it. Check out the other episodes at cityhales.com. And also, thanks to our sponsor, Sleeper Jiu Jitsu. Once everything clears up with the coronavirus, make sure to come back in and check out our classes or check out our Sunday open mat. It's open to everyone in the community. Until then, enjoy the episode with Lian Light.
For it.
You're going live. Okay, there it goes.
Okay.
So you're getting ready to prep by growing microgreens.
I ordered some microgreens. I'm like getting ready to feed myself.
Nice. Yeah, Gael told me yesterday that he planted some cucumbers.
Oh, good. He should be good. He should be good.
Yeah. World is safe. I probably should do some like the zucchini, because they always grow.
Is that right? I didn't know that was a.
I feel like that because I'm not very good at growing things, but those always grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tend to kill the fuck out of everything. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Microgreens are pretty easy though, right? Because they only need to grow for like 4 days. Something.
I always surprise myself how I can kill shit though.
I'm pretty good. I'll have to check in on you for like how your microgreens are going. I had a kid who was telling me all about the life cycle of a.
Oh no.
That? She's like, it looks like an ice cream cone. Like, yuck.
Well, you're kind of crapping out a little bit. I don't know if it's me or you. Are you at the I was gonna say your studio. I'm so used to people being in the studio.
I'm not at the studio. No. No.
Are you at the gym?
I'm at my house.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think this is I'm going for the most low budget. I don't know how this recording goes. I did one podcast. Someone did one with me on this, and I was like, "Oh, this is the easiest because everyone has Google."
Yeah, this looks good. I mean, I can't see myself. I have no idea what.
I think you're. I can. Can you see me?
I can see you fine.
And you're like way up in the corner. There. Now I can see you. Yeah, I'm not really down with all these technologies.
You're totally down.
I'm just learning about it.
You're totally down.
Dude, I'm learning. I learned about this thing called Marco Polo. It's like you can send little videos. I think it's like really for old people. It seems very easy. It's hilarious. You can make
because they know how to play Marco Polo. The old people know how to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know about this app?
No, never heard of it.
It's like a texting app, but you can do videos and you don't have to be there like, we need to be here and coordinate, be here at the same time. This one you can leave a little video and then they can have a little video and then everyone can check at once.
That's cool.
I don't know if Apple maybe just has the same functionality. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. I used WhatsApp for the first time the other day.
How was that?
So I'm working. I'm working at the Mariners. I think you know that.
I know that.
The stadium, installing the audio system.
Mm-hmm.
And next week is supposed to be the first day of baseball.
Home opener.
I'm like getting ready for the first day of baseball. So this week
toiling away.
So yeah. So this was the big week to push. Every system was working. So it was supposed to be a sign off where a representative of the Mariners walks through basically everything. It takes a day, and she's got asthma. So I'm like, are you really going to come down here to do this? Because this is you're kind of high risk, and came up with using WhatsApp. Basically, just went through it, press some buttons, plug stuff in, let her know everything works. So that was kind of cool.
Showed her like, oh, yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah.
Use the mic now. Everything's cool. Moving on to the next one.
Working.
Yeah, so that worked out pretty good. I felt like, no, look at me. I'm with the I'm
Very
pretty
savvy.
cool. Fucking computer stuff. That's pretty cool. But
Yeah, I did my first Zoom meeting
mm,
to see if I was going to do like Zoom classes, seeing
yeah,
about that, learning about all the technology.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I guess that's a good part of a pandemic is you learn new things. Um, you know,
yeah.
uh,
Fucking
okay.
weird.
So
Weird
anyway,
shit.
let's
Am I allowed to curse on this?
officially.
Are gonna be little kids
Yeah, you're totally allowed to curse.
being?
So we've been talking, but your name is Lian Light. I know you officially from jujitsuing,
Yeah,
right? That's where we met, jujitsu.
yeah.
Ivans or Baja?
Vince, maybe.
Ivans
I think I met you. Where did I meet you?
at some random place in between
Probably.
tournament.
It was like,
Anyway,
oh, I'm sorry. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, you're there. Kinda.
so so
Move on.
so there um so I know you from jujitsuing, but then you do
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
Where so did you start like were you a little kid in music? Did you start music as a little
yeah.
kid?
I would say it's like a curse in the family. If you have it, it's like, oh, oh no. Oh, she would have been really cool if the music didn't get in the way. You could have had a really awesome job if that damn music wasn't. You could have been really smart if the music wasn't, because it's, my uncles are pretty amazing musicians.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, it's in the family. And yeah, yeah, I played a lot of music.
What was your first instrument?
Um, the first instrument I had a hold of was probably the guitar. Just had this guitar when I was very small. Nobody was really teaching me. It was just kind of there. Um, but then I was able to um, play by ear. So when there's a piano, I would kind of copy what I heard. Not that I played piano very well, but I understood music enough that I could, you know, if I heard, an Elton John song or something, I could play "Candle in the Wind," just the melody part of it. But I was very small, things like that. It was
Yeah, you
always
were one of
there.
those people. The gift curse.
The curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that accelerated.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Through through high school and middle school and wanting to write music. I got very obsessed with writing music.
Where
Um,
did you live in this time period?
I was in the Philippines when before I was 8. About
Okay.
I probably picked up the first guitar when I was 4 or 5. No, again, it was just there. No, I didn't know how to
Yeah,
play
in
it,
the
but
house.
yeah, it was
People.
there. But yeah, I think it's really weird. I my it's like my imagination. I was already playing it, and so when I pick it up, I kind of already knew how to do things. Like especially with drumming. Oh my gosh, when I sat down to play drums the first time, it's like I was already doing drums. It was really weird, but it was, yeah. So I'm a multi instrumentalist. I'm a lot like my husband. He's also a multi instrumentalist. We're very similar in that way. But
Yeah.
yeah. So like I really got serious about learning music when I was probably like 15 or 16, and I started writing
Okay.
and I started recording it and not telling anybody and not singing in front of anyone. It was really,
Being
yeah,
an emo kid.
totally emo. Emo as fuck. Yeah. Even the sunny day real estate the whole way through, for sure. I don't think you can get any more emo than that. But yeah,
No.
yeah. Played drums and then moved to Seattle. Uh,
What year did you move into Seattle?
what year was that? Oh my gosh, 2002, 3. Gosh,
Okay.
I was like 23 years old or something. That was crazy.
How old are you now?
I'm 40 now. Big
40. Did you
40.
this year? When was your birthday?
Last July. That's when I bit the head off the fish for the little kids. I don't know if you were there for that.
Oh,
It was
maybe
like a combination
I
of
don't
my
know if I
birthday and
was.
party. I freaked everybody out. I got fucked up. One of the kids blew up a fish during 4th of July, so it came up to the surface, picked it up, bit it off. Just caused a lot of drama.
Chaos, children crying,
I really didn't think it
horrified people.
was a big deal. I told Burke, I was like, I would have probably done that sober. I saw that little guy
Yeah.
floating up, but whatever.
Well, I must have missed that because I feel like that would have been a memorable moment.
You would have looked at me very disappointed. I would have seen disappointed Cindy.
Would it? Maybe I would have been like, would I had vegan rage?
He's already dead. He got blown up by a goddamn firecracker.
Who blew it up? Just a random person.
I'll give you a couple of guesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so
You're
that's
multi-instrumentalist. Back
yeah.
to then emo kid, moved to Seattle.
Yeah. So sad.
Did all of that.
That was the blue period. Just like but I learned a lot about
what so you were in a couple bands up here.
Yeah.
You were in a band.
Nobody knows them. Nobody cares.
I care. Here I am caring during the apocalypse.
Yeah, I was in my own band called Magneto, and then with Burke called Mega Sapien. Basically, like it's basically I write all the stuff, and I have it all kind of worked out in my head, and you have to con people into playing the shit that you want to hear. And you try
Burke, get over here. Hey Burke, you're gonna come and do this for me right now. Come on, Burke.
Well, that was a trade. We had a trade because he's an awesome drummer, but he's also an awesome songwriter. So it was like, okay, your songs, my songs. I'll do this for you. You just do this for me. It was kind of a bargaining thing. Either way.
Is Burke sitting right there?
No, he's probably out putting potatoes in the ground.
Oh, okay, he's also, everyone's got the planting bug right now. Everyone's planting, preparing for winter.
He was like, do we even eat potatoes? I don't think so.
We will when there's a famine.
That's true. He's going to be awesome because he's good at making bread. So he'll be
sweet
to have around. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrangle Burke into doing a podcast with me. I want to hear about his child music business. Teaching kids. I want to talk to him more about that. Get to know him. See about that.
He's had a few lessons now with Zoom, like you were saying.
Okay, so he's been doing all of that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. How does he like Zoom? Did he have feedback? I guess I could just wait and ask him.
Well, he's very like when he does his lessons, he basically goes from instrument to instrument with these guys. So
I
think he's trying that. Like he's literally running around the room doing things.
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to figure that out. Of like, but what he said yesterday was funny. Was it's hard to tell the kids to calm down.
Yeah, the notion of child wrangling is different when they're not in the space.
Yeah.
Like the interaction with it is different.
Yeah. So that's sort of. But yeah.
Okay. So my next question is, how did you get into Jiu Jitsu?
I was getting fat.
So 2002, you moved to Seattle.
Yeah.
You were doing things. What year did Jiu Jitsu happen?
Gosh. I think it's been like 6 or 7 years. It hasn't been super long. What is it now? 2020.
2020? 20.
13, 14, something like that.
Okay, why? So you were like getting fat? Were you working in an office?
I think
Or
I
were you just
started
eating too
to.
much
I think I started
snacks?
to. I just felt like I was always an athlete growing up, and so I think I really missed, you know, working out and like being at a gym. Just I can't get motivated to run in place. It's just not my thing, you know. I like lifting up heavy shit is not my thing.
Not your thing. Not my
And my
thing.
thing is like, choking people.
Yeah, rolling
That's not my
around,
thing.
choking people. Uh,
Um,
so where did you start?
it was at Ivan's Alvarez gym. I my commute was on the 99, and so I would drive past
Okay.
Marcelo's gym and look
Mm-hmm.
at it as I drove by. I was like, what's that about? That went on for years. That must have gone on for like 4 years. Like seeing that sign on the
What's that
99.
place?
Yeah, wonder what that's about. And then I went into Ivan's with the intention of doing like kicking stuff, kickboxing or punching or something. And then
Yeah,
I saw jujitsu. I was like, oh, that looks kind of fun.
that's a thing.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
this is kind of gross. Oh, you're too close. And then after a while, then that goes away. Don't
Had
worry.
you seen UFC or anything?
Yeah, yeah. I think that might have been all happening at the same time. Yeah,
Kind of
watching
started
them.
noticing it, and
Yeah,
then like,
totally. Yeah.
oh, there's this thing.
Hmm.
Okay, and
I
then
mean,
you went in and went.
I didn't really understand like ground fighting versus it just looked like a couple cats fucking fighting. Like there was no organization in my head of what was going on of like ground versus but it just looked fun. So I was like, let me go kick some stuff. That looks
Yeah,
maybe
bunch of
that's
stuff happening.
yeah.
So you went to go kick shit at Ivan's, and then you ended up doing some grappling. Was it the
Yeah.
tiny shorts
Yeah.
that captured you?
Yeah. The oil.
The oil wrestling? Yes. Um, that was all nogi, right? So it was Ivan doing some
No,
gi.
he was doing gi. Yeah.
He was doing gi.
Yeah. He was doing
Then
gi.
he moved to Baja.
Yeah. That was
Then you switched over.
yeah. I started working for the man in Bellevue in Redmond.
Uh,
So
Microsoft man, the
yeah,
man,
the man.
the
Um
man.
and yeah,
Okay,
they
yeah.
were
So then,
there. So that made it
yeah,
very, very convenient.
totally.
Um yeah, so that was cool. That went on for about, I don't know, 2 years. It's like, I don't know if my math is right. 2 or 3 years doing this,
You've
two or
been
three years
around a
doing that.
minute.
Yeah.
It seems like you were, yeah. You've been around a minute.
Yeah.
So did you, I'm trying to think if I've seen like tournament pictures from you at the Ivan era. Did you compete when you were at Ivan's?
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. It was weird. It was more fun back then than it is now. I do not enjoy it at all now. I think it's because of
Not into it.
the weight. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with being a certain weight, and then my obsession just turns it all inside out, and I'm starving, and then I go out there and I'm so uncomfortable, and I kind of want to, and I just do terrible every single time. But I feel awesome at the gym. I feel pretty good at the gym. I feel like I know what I'm doing, and then
You a little more relaxed too, I think, at the
yes,
gym. It's more fun versus like freaking out about all the other stuff.
yeah, I overthink things generally, so it's not the. I think if that became my focus was to be good at that, then I'd
Yeah.
be out there every week, doing everything.
Yeah, I like to see, that used to be my focus. Now that's not my focus. And I like to now just watch the kids do it. I'm like, oh, I get really excited to see the younger set like doing it. Um, there was definitely the transitional period of like, oh, I still want to do it. Now it's like, not as
Well,
into
it's
it.
funny because you're comparing like your competition stuff. versus my competition stuff. It's a huge difference there. You're actually like doing real shit. I'm like, you know, I can get good at jiu-jitsu, but it's not like my life's work. Yours is, doing it.
Yeah, but it's still like, seeing what other people think about it. I think that's like valuable. I don't know.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, you're kind of the shit, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't always like I don't always like think about that so much. Um yeah, well, we can get back to maybe it will be like if I was like saying I like did music and then compared it to your music because I know like it doesn't I have no clue about any of it. Man, have you ever tried to make Berg get into jujitsu like before? Is he not into it? He's just like, meh. Do you make him
You
do
know,
moves on? Do you do moves on him, and he's like begrudging, or uh, uh,
he's very
does he
like,
like say only music stuff?
oh, he's incredibly active. Like, he runs,
Mm-hmm.
he swims, does not sit still, probably out doing stuff like 4 to 6 hours a day. Just,
All day long.
yeah, just nonstop. Um, he's always said he wanted to do jujitsu, but I don't think really does.
Doesn't really want to do jujitsu.
I think, yeah, I don't. He's worried about his flexibility. He makes that like it's an excuse, but I mean that can always be worked on. That's not. Well, it's different now. He had remember he had a pretty bad accident.
The
So like
yeah.
that's a neck thing, and I probably wouldn't feel super comfortable with him
Mm,
rolling around accidentally, getting
totally.
stacked or some stupid shit happening. That would be too much of a risk, I think.
Yeah, way too much of a risk on everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was crazy. That whole when all of that happened for you guys, like crazy period.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it just, I look back on it like it's a kind of a dream, like a nightmare when it first happened, and it went on for about a month. And
Yeah,
it's still every day, he's still got pain, and he's improving a lot, but things just, it's just not 100% the same, you know.
yeah, we've talked about that before, like
Mhm.
injuries and all of those things. It's like you recover, but it's not just like on or off. It's like
No,
this process of getting things back little by little.
yeah, and plus, I mean, spinal injuries, so like nerves, you know, a lot of it's like his the ends of his hands, like the fingertips, feet. That his He had surgery up at the name C4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he's still working on all of that, but getting sensations to that has improved by a lot, but still not 100%.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to keep trucking though. I mean, what else? He got very, very unlucky, and you got to just make the best of it. It's just, you know, feel bad about it some days, but you got to keep trucking. I don't know what else. I don't know, what are you supposed to do? But
Yeah, no, there's nothing else to do. It's just like, it, like you said, it sucks some days. And then you're just like, I just probably just keep going. Just, I've had no injuries that severe, but I've had injuries where you're like, this is putting a lot of things at risk, in
Mhm.
your life. Like, and it's like, what do? You just keep doing it until it's better. That's I
Yeah,
kind of
you
think
have to
about those
adapt.
things now.
I
It's
mean,
like, what do you do when you're locked in your house? You just keep doing things.
you
You
have
do
to
whatever you
adapt.
can do. Yeah, you just do things. You do Zoom meetings. You use WhatsApp. You
Yeah.
do things because it's like, you can't. Well, I guess that could bring us to like the state of today.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it's a pretty nutty scenario. What's going on? I feel like it's like one of those dreamlike, like, is this fucking happening? Like, it's like kind of like I think I was like a little didn't pay attention to the coronavirus, right? Like, you knew about the coronavirus. I remember maybe it was like 3 weeks ago. I went to Costco on a Monday, the first. This is my like when it. I knew it was like a thing. I knew it was happening, but when I was like, why are there so many people at Costco? I just want my K-cups. I had my little box, and I was like, is it because it's the first? Is it because it's Monday the first? Why are there all these people? And
So
then,
you're like, I need some TP. Let me go get some TP, and there's the TP towers
dude,
in there. Yeah.
yeah. Then I like went back the next day to get some creamer, and it was crazy. And the lady like had all the toilet paper, and she was like talking to me like, oh, I have this, like making an excuse why she had a bunch of toilet paper, and I still was like, oh. And then it dawned on me what was happening. Like, oh, that's something they're happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening. It's like really like people are freaking the fuck
But
out. And then
yeah,
I
but
started
then
reading more of it,
yeah.
looking at it, and like, man, and then it just went into hyperspeed, you know? Uh, I think maybe like 2 weeks later, the gym got shut down. So that was like like if I think in the progression of things, I was still just like, man, I still don't understand. Like, I understand trying to slow the spread of the disease. I totally get that. I don't understand, like, how long do you sit in your house? How long does, do you know what I mean? Like, when they're talking about the shelter in place, like, dude, what the fuck? Months? I think, like, yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
little like
it's
try
pretty
and wrap
clear.
my mind about it. Do you know what I mean? Like I like the scope of things. Like, how long does the world do that? Like, is it mind boggling to you? Because it's mind boggling to me.
Well, it's pretty clear that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Like
Totally.
they're just
Yeah.
they're like, okay, well, some cities are say like, how are we not in lockdown, but Los Angeles is in lockdown?
Yeah.
Things like this, you just go like, okay, so you guys are just fucking making this
Guessing.
shit up. There's
Yeah.
obviously no protocol for, what are you supposed to, there's no manual where,
Dude, it's like a fucking like I'm like, holy God, what the fuck?
uh,
It's like it's
but
an emotional roller coaster. It's like,
uh,
man, it's
but
a
nobody's sick. Like, do you know anybody that's,
well, the only one person. Listen, do you know Missy?
yeah, that's my one person too.
That's yeah. Then how fucking weird is that, right?
That takes
Like
that takes the weirdness to another level entirely, because you're like,
the first
are we
recovered
all
person
dying?
is a
Like, what?
jujitsu girl.
The Nobody's like,
I don't know anyone who's died yet.
uh, I guess, I mean, it's weird to be waiting. Are we waiting?
I don't. A little bit. We're all waiting for something, right? I
Yeah,
think.
I'm a
I don't
little bit
know.
more like, I'm a little bit more suspicious of
I'm a
the
little
whole thing.
suspicious. Yeah. I'm like very like, I'm like, dude, I'm waiting to start working again, like in a regular capacity. So that's pretty nutty. Like I think in my mind, like, yeah, I like Zoom videos, but uh I like real jujitsu in real life better.
Yeah, I'm like,
Like I don't know.
is everybody's grandparents just people who are gonna die are gonna die? People who are gonna live are gonna live,
Yeah.
and then we just move on? Like, is that how it ends? Because it
I don't
seems
know.
like it is some sort of a reset of some sort. Whether this
Yeah.
was released purposely or not purposely, that's
Yeah.
another interesting conversation.
What are your thoughts on that? Let's dive into that topic.
Well, shit, it's um, it's like a godsend for people who like want to make a ton of money. The financial system wise, like crashing the market um, on the back of this weird crisis that we don't quite understand just how the severity of it is in question. We're not even sure. I mean, there's the news about Italy and how fucked that is, but then you're here and it's not as bad. But you know,
Well,
it's
I
it's
have a friend in Italy that I want to talk to and be like, dude, do you know people dying? Like, I'm gonna try and reach out to him because it's like
mhm,
I can see he's saying it's bad, but I think it's like, is
mhm.
it bad because you're like stuck inside? Or is it bad because there's people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it
Like,
bad because it's the Black
or
Plague,
then
or is
like,
it bad
is
because?
there's people, I don't know. And I don't want to be insensitive, but like, I just want to know, I want to know what the fuck's going on. And then I want to talk to, I saw Jacqueline, and she like works at the hospitals, and she was saying they
Which,
were like, well, I'm gonna try and do a little talk with her and Amy because they all work at different hospitals,
oh,
right?
that's
And I
great.
want to know like what
Great
the
idea.
fuck's going on,
Yeah.
like because it's like, okay, shit's getting stolen, but it's like, well, that's not the virus. That's a different issue. Who's stealing the shit, right? The
Yeah.
masks.
Yeah.
Like people are stealing the fucking masks. Like,
Oh, ridiculous. Okay.
dude, fucking crazy, right? Like, dude, that's a different problem. You know, the fucking I don't understand economic systems at all, and I like feel like maybe you only try to understand them during moments of crisis. Uh, dude, but like doesn't seem like things are going so well, and like, you know, like they
Well,
did
I
that.
mean,
I don't really understand the you dropped the Federal Reserve rate to zero, and now there's nowhere really to go, right?
well, yeah. Well, that has nothing to do with the virus.
The
I,
virus, that's sort of a different thing.
well, I guess the one thing they have said is it will encourage economic like activity. Like if a business is having a hard time during this crisis, they can take out a loan. But at the same time, um, we don't really
Not
have.
always good to start your business on a loan, and like
Yeah,
what's going on.
well, there's a whole conspiracy thing about that, about the government basically trying to take stake in all of these corporations, where it's like a payday loan, or like it's like
Yeah.
collateral, right? Okay, well, I need this loan today. Here's this thing, and I'll pay you back in a few days. But if you don't pay it back, then they now have a stake in your company. Kind of in the most basic sense, that's sort of what's going on. And why this
Okay.
happened because of the virus, because you shut everything down. I mean, also there's the China thing where they have supplied us with a lot of our goods, and now we don't really
Mm-hmm.
have that supply chain in our economy. So, I mean, we're broke. Bottom line is like they're
Yeah, and
printing
then it's
money and
like all these.
like supposedly it's not supposed to affect inflation, but when you have very little supply and a lot of money, like what do you think is going to, and you keep printing money and you keep printing money and there's less and less supply coming in from these different places from all over the world because we're in lockdown, then there's this like uh, you know prices are going to go up. They don't have anywhere else to go. So it's
That
just
was the Peter Schiff video that
yeah,
that him
yeah,
talking about that, where it's like if you
yeah.
put too much money in and there's
Not enough supply. It's just
the
yeah,
value of it needs to regulate itself or whatever to inflate.
yeah. I mean, again, this has been going on for the repo market thing. It's been happening for the since like November. Basically, the banks are saying they're illiquid, and then the
Mm-hmm.
Federal Reserve print, has been printing about 30 to 40 billion a night to lend to the banks just to keep the system kind of going. And
Uh-huh.
now it's turned into like a trillion a week.
Yeah, you start seeing those
Like
numbers.
it's
What the
insane.
fuck?
So
Yeah. And then
um
like printing checks for people, it's like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, where is that coming
yeah,
from? Just printing money to be able to print checks is not seem like a good
well
idea.
it it's really interesting when you study what modern monetary theory is. They call it MMT. It's the idea
Okay.
that you and I have to balance our checkbooks, right? As a person,
Yep.
you have a job, they pay you, then you have to allocate money for rent, you have to allocate money for food, blah, blah, blah. In modern monetary theory, the idea is, since it's the government and since it can print its own money, and since it has a monopoly on money, technically it can print money forever and it won't have an effect on the population. That's like the idea, but that has a lot to do with production. Like you have to put money into infrastructure. You have to put money into you have to keep it balanced in that way. You know what I mean? You can't have like nothing, no infrastructure,
no goods, no real services going, and then like tons of money.
Exactly. So that's where we are. The modern monetary theory dream of like, oh yeah, if we can manipulate the economy for it to be forever going up. If we can catch up with the supply, you know. But now there's a ton of money. And I like that freaks me out more than anything. It's like, I mean, in one sense, you can possibly make a lot of money in, you know, precious metals or Bitcoin or something, but like, that's also in question. Like, is that really a good out? Or is everybody just going to eat shit for a long time?
Where is the system? Is it going to go? What direction will it go in? Where will the value end?
We seem to be at that point where it could go one way or another.
A major shift. There's going to be a major shift, or a possible major shift.
So the question is, was this crisis created, or was this crisis an accident? And it was a pretty fucking happy accident for people who want this shift to occur. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's the perfect reason.
I was thinking about this the other day. So like Antifa, and then you got like the Nazis,
Proud Boy dudes, whatever.
Yeah, they're all kind of against one thing, which is this socialist kind of communist regime taking over this freedom that we have, right? So they might be fighting amongst each other, but at the same time, they kind of have the same goal, I guess, is
similar end goal.
Yeah. And I was thinking, they both might be right, that it has been under attack for a long time, but kind of the energy was directed towards each other rather than what is actually trying to oppress. You know what I'm saying?
Does that make sense? And I think that happens a lot of times within like revolutions or whatever, people with like who are unhappy, it just gets diverted towards other groups. And all those groups are like really unhappy with the same thing at the root.
Yeah. But it's interesting how people have that. I mean, they don't need to understand the monetary system in any kind of deep capacity, but they do understand that shit's going down in my life.
The social, yeah. The real everyday implications of things are happening to people.
Oh yeah.
And people are getting shaken up. So.
And they're getting real brave up there. They're getting real brave. The Trump dudes and whoever is in government. I mean, I'm not Democrat, Republican, but goddamn, they're just like pillaging.
Well, dude, I was listening to fucking the governor in New York, and he was talking about like, it was like, they're trying to buy the masks, right? That they're trying to buy the masks. And like, I guess there's like a bidding, basically there's like companies, like, he's like, usually the mask costs 85 cents, but right now we're paying $7 for masks because like the companies are like, oh, well, this state will pay this much. And they weren't real numbers, but it was like this exorbitant, like, that's bidding happening. This bidding war on, it's not even the fucking guy on YouTube that bought, or fucking wherever that bought the hand sanitizer. It's the fucking company with the hand sanitizer, So that's like, holy shit, that's like every item on that is like now up for grabs for each of those companies to just make a fucking payday. Um,
Well,
that's pretty nutty.
take it to another level where governments are now, um, it's like a grab for companies that are going to be hitting rock bottom. There's going to be
Yeah.
pillaging of like a lot of wealthy people are going to come down and buy all of that shit on sale. You know what I mean? It's going to
Yeah.
be
Well, that happened, and
insane.
I think that was similar when, like, when the Soviet Union collapsed, and like
Mhm.
the people came in, like all like bought up those companies, you know, and like public
Mhm.
services, even like, okay, even we'll get the little people got money given to them, but then people were like kind of knew what was going on. We're like, we'll give you this for that bond or whatever, and they just like accumulated companies like that became the oligarchs or whatever, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's crazy. Yeah,
Like
that
that
could be
wouldn't
happening
happen now, would it?
on a global scale. Yeah, it
We
is.
wouldn't do that now. We're like different. We learned our lessons.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, like the 2008 thing. I was like, that's when
Mhm.
I was like, I'm like, I don't even really remember that. I think it was because I was just like a poor fighter. You know, I was just
Yeah.
like, didn't really impact me. I was just like, totally like,
Yeah.
huh, I don't really have anything to lose. I remember some people freaking out, and it's like,
Mhm.
I don't have anything. Um, Now it's like, oh, it's a little different, you know?
For
I
sure.
feel a little bit that way, but then I'm like, oh no, I have a business that I like just opened, and it's like all these rules that are impacting different like businesses, you know? It's weird to see like, well, some businesses get to be open and my
Mhm.
business doesn't get to be open. And like then I'm like, oh, it's so ridiculous. Like have the one business that you can't really social distance, I guess, except through a Zoom meeting. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so silly.
I
Um,
mean, you can still make food and hand it to somebody, which is really interesting. Even like you're
wait,
breathing all
what?
over their fucking food or whatever you're doing to their food.
You're totally, yeah. And then, yeah, it's like none of all these rules are arbitrary. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like I
Like,
said,
it's
they don't
like,
know what the
it's,
fuck.
if
Like,
it's in the air for 3 hours, like, come on. Come on, there's no controlling it. Sitting in my house doesn't mean anything if I can go out and like, well, I'm like, even like in my gym, you know, there's like ventilation and it's like pushing the air from the other people into my thing, you know?
really.
Yeah.
I was talking about that with somebody with like I'm quarantined because I have nobody around me. I have like very few neighbors. But then if you live in an apartment complex, you're
You
basically
can't.
breathing the same fucking air as everybody in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. All those old people that they trapped in
Oh my
that are
God. In
like,
Kirkland.
no, like, no, like old people like are in their like assisted living places and, you know, they're like little dorm rooms and they have to just stay in them. They can't even like really go out.
You
Fucking
know,
crazy.
our neighbors, they're like they're
Dude.
older. They're probably in their 80s and they have friends
Hmm.
in Kirkland who are not allowed to leave their room. And they're like, they said they're like prisoners. They give them a tray of food, open the door, give them a
Yeah.
tray of food, and they fucking can't get out of there.
Dude. Yeah, that's a lot of people. That's
Fucking
a,
go.
yeah, that's what I'm like. Oh, I'm in Gold Bar. Yeah, I'm pretty like, oh,
Yeah.
self quarantine. Okay. Me and Maddie go to the gym. We're don't have a, you know, whatever. Come here.
Are
Uh,
you allowed to get meat downstairs?
Dude, those poor guys. I don't know how you do Korean barbecue takeout, right?
Oh
Such
my
a
God.
bummer.
Yeah.
The building has basically been functionally shut down. There's some like doctors in there.
Mm.
So there's been people still coming in for that.
What
The
kind of doctors?
like
Like
Asian
family doctors?
medicine doctors.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Like
cool.
herbalist, I don't know. Yeah. They see, you know, there's like a dentist in there. So seems like, but like, yeah, no Korean barbecue. It's like kind of
I
a
can fuck
bummer.
with your mouth and the dentist,
Dude,
but
yeah,
I
they can
can't
do
serve
all
you
of that
food. That's
stuff.
so weird.
Well, yeah, it's all so fucking gray lines of what you can do. Man, I don't know. I heard it's in the prison, you know, so that's kind of crazy. Just think if you're in prison, those people
So,
just in Monroe, I guess they had like a case there,
why are we
Amazon
laughing?
warehouse.
Why are we? It's like funny. Why is it so funny? I mean, people are
It's not
dying.
even, it's like, it's just like, where it's real. Like, what do you do about it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, dude, I have like waves of emotion over it. Like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And then it's like, dude, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Gonna nothing. You're not gonna do anything. Like
Yeah.
what it's this weird like so you remember like when it was flooded when there was like flooding a few months ago and that was a big
Mm-hmm.
thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I have some, like some property on a river and
Mm-hmm.
you know, the river was overflowing and one of the guys was like, I'm trying to hold back the river and it was like to me like, what are you doing? What do you mean? What does that mean hold back the river? Like
Yeah,
visualizing that in my head. It's like you just need to wait till the raining stops and then we'll deal with
perfect.
it. There's not you know, and it's like the same sort of thing. Like, how do you hold this back? Like,
That's exactly the same. That's perfect what you've said. That's exactly what it is. And we are in a in our society where we believe we can kind of stop the river. I
we
think
can't.
this is the
We
same with the
can't.
stock market. It's the same thing. There's these energies
Yeah.
that we probably created, but it still has to go through its cycle.
Yeah, it's
You can
alive
hold
now
the
or it's a thing.
you can hold it back for as long as you can, but it still has a fucking cycle that it needs to go through. You can't stop the damn
Yeah.
cycle. But yeah,
No.
and the longer you try to avoid it, the bigger it gets. And I think that's where we're at. It's like, yeah, just
Yeah, that's the whole like, you know, yeah, I look at all those flatten the curve and I totally get it. I get like it's like, but is that till we like get enough stuff, enough gear? Like, cuz you can't keep people forever. Do you know what I mean? Like what's that end goal? You know? That's I'm dude, it's
oh, you kind of
what
went
happened?
out for you went out for a minute, for a second.
Uh-oh. Probably
Say it
because
again.
I was freaking out. Yeah,
Say it
no,
again.
I don't even. I think it was just probably my rambling about like, well, how long do you sit inside? It's only been 1 week, too, right? It's only been 1 week, and it's I haven't actually been sitting inside. That's
No,
like the crazy part because it's like,
that is
Cindy, you're
ironic.
acting like you've been doing anything. Like you're not. You've been going to the gym. You haven't had classes, but you're like taking your dog for a walk, and you know I'm not going around a bunch of people, but dude, I haven't gone to work. But it's only been 1 week.
I've been basically working. I'm like, when am I going to be sent home?
When? Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's the thing.
the
I kind of
vacation
wanted.
is not. It's all cracked up to be.
I Yeah. I mean, we got people who are still working. We're far
Yeah.
apart from each other. Like I've been kind of by myself most of the time, so that's cool. People are like, keep your job for as long as you can, get as many hours as you can. I'm like,
For
okay.
real.
Uh, yeah. So
Dude, well, let me ask you this. Is it sort of anticlimactic that you had this rad project at work to like update this whole
there's no fucking
stadium
baseball.
and
Yes,
it's canceled?
there's
Like,
no
how fucking
baseball.
lame is that?
I was telling the guys, I was like, if you had told me 6 months ago there would be any baseball, they're like, you need to shut
Yeah.
the fuck up. Yeah, no, but
Right?
I mean, there's questions like, how is it going to come back? Are people going to be interested? I mean, are people going to want to be next to each other? I'm like, yeah, we'll get over it. Like, it'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Spanish flu happened. Everybody was fine after that. It's like,
People still want to be around people.
yeah, and you know, it's I hate to sound, you know, fucking harsh, but it's like a lot of the people that are dying are very sick. Like, and I don't know, like Mother Nature's just like taking people. I don't know. It's how it works.
Yeah.
I was talking to Burke about this earlier. Like people want to believe that there's some sort of fairness in the way that our bodies work, but it's like some people could be fucking chain smokers and live till they're 90, and some
Yeah.
people like die from lung cancer at 40. So, and then having just the one stroke solution, thinking that it'll be the same for everybody else, is like, I guess you could try. I guess trying is
I,
very important, but it's just not fair. Like I haven't, like I was saying, I haven't gotten sick in like 5 years, and I don't know. I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't, it's like kind of, I don't have kids. I don't have like, I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
just thinking about
that's a different
myself.
thing.
But then you think about like, okay, I have parents, and I think if I had kids, it's like, if I'm going to throw energy to save one of them, it would be throwing energy forward to the kids,
Yeah.
not to the old fuckers, right? Like, I love my parents. I'll tell my mom, like, Mom, stay inside because you might get sick. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it seems like. It seems like that's probably the way life is, right? Like, shit dies, and you like put the energy towards
Don't say
planting some
that.
microgreens and like building new stuff, not worrying about the old people.
Hey, Cindy, you're not allowed to say things like that.
I
It's weird.
Yeah,
You're not, right? You're not
you're not
allowed to tell out these fucking obvious things
you're
that
not
everybody
allowed to
knows
say it.
exist.
That's what I've been learning, in my exploration of like, oh, okay, well, we've talked about like, oh, I came from the beginnings of the PC culture, right? And I remember like being in that and like how stifling it kind of felt, but not understanding like the words for it. And
Mm.
then like kind of like, oh no, I kind of like still relate to that. And then I'm like trying to like engage with it. It's like, no, I don't really relate to that. I don't relate to it on the it
In realistic
uh
level. Like,
it's like, yeah, it's just like, dude, it's I was definitely that insufferable fucker as a kid. I know it. And it's like you just didn't have a lot of world experience to feel that way. And now people feel that way like on a whole level. And it's like maybe that's why we're like just all hiding in our houses. I don't know, Like it's just like, dude, I don't know. It's just very strange. I think,
I like,
oh, go ahead.
um, so 9/11 happened, and I think that freaked a lot of people out. And then, I mean, that kept people in their houses, that kept people kind of disconnected from each other. And then seemed like the pharmaceutical industry kind of fucking skyrocketed. And then in
All
your,
of that took off. Yeah.
and it seemed like people were very tight with their kids. And
Yeah. Different kind of like parenting models and like
yeah, yeah.
fear
Oh
for
yeah.
that, like other generations.
But then they have now, the kids have to worry about getting shot in school. Like
Yeah.
totally. I mean, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
transitions
I,
between these eras. They're like these eras of how people existed before 9/11 or before these shootings and how they exist now. It's really
yeah.
interesting.
I know. I guess I never really thought of that in that little timeline as a thing. I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like because when I was in jujitsu, well, I'm still in jujitsu, but I feel like 20 years of my life just went into this very narrow focus. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I miss kind of the part of the world out there, like what happened,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. And here we are back in the world, global pandemic.
We're so, I'm just
It's,
like, I mean, I watch so much like, uh, I don't want to say doom and gloom because a lot of it's pretty realistic, but I've decided that all I can really do is keep my situation, like, like control my situation as much as I can, help people out.
yeah.
But like, there's no justice in a lot of places. In a lot of
No.
in our government, there's no justice. In the world, there's no justice, and I'm
Yep.
just lucky to be here and not in another terrible part of the world. And yeah, I mean, shit's getting heavy. I got my fucking
Dude,
microgreens. I got some tools.
dude, I'm like ready to hunker down. Well, after I realized like, oh, shit's coming. I did like, because I don't really have a lot of food at my house on any given occasion because I eat like, and I eat out or like just buy the food every day. So I'm like, uh-oh, better buy a little bit of food for me and Maddie, and
Yeah,
fucking, I have a gun. I'm
I
like,
don't have a gun. I need to get a gun.
I have a gun, but you know what? I realized I need to fucking, I scares me. I have a gun.
Yeah.
Dude, if you don't practice shooting a gun quite often, kind of worthless with a gun. I don't, it's like, I know people that are like, oh yeah, I jujitsu, but they don't really like like, you're like, I don't know if you would really want to be in a street fight. I think the same is true of a gun. Like if you don't practice like
Oh, really?
being a gun person, I guess if you have a shotgun, because I have like a little 22 and I tried to like walk around my
See, I don't even
property and
know.
shoot.
I don't even know what
It's
that
a
means.
tiny gun.
Oh,
A shotgun is like one that like has like the spray of like
yeah. I've been told that that's what I'm supposed to get.
that's
For
what you would want if you don't have any skills, I think.
just
Um,
fucking take everybody out. Take everybody with you.
yeah, I have like I have a little rifle and then a little pistol, and I tried to like walk around and see like, can I like hit shit? Dude, it's hard. It's
Like you
fucking
tried to kill
hard.
shit. You
Well,
had in
no,
your head that you were gonna do it.
not even moving shit. No, I started with like, oh, there's a little target. I'm trying to just hit that. That's hard. It's not as easy as you think.
I thought you were gonna go out and like I don't know, shoot something in your backyard or something. No.
I was talking to Gael about this yesterday, and I did try and shoot a rat once.
Uh huh.
Um, that's hard. Not with like a big gun, like with a BB gun. Um,
That's
didn't hit
yeah.
it. Nowhere close. Gave up
It's
after
wait,
like
it was difficult because of the aiming or because you were gonna
all
take
of
a little
it.
rat's life.
All of it. I killed a rat with some poison, and then I found it and its little buddy that I had watched like hang out on my chicken coop.
Oh
And I
man.
fucking felt horrible. Fucking, I still feel horrible about it. Um, but I just got rid of the chickens. I couldn't. It's too hard. Too hard to have all of it. I'm like, can't be responsible for all these animals. I want them to be out in the nature doing their thing.
I love the chickens and I love the eggs. I'm a big fan of the chickens, but there are definitely mice and rats involved. Those little
Yeah,
fuckers are there.
dude.
Well, we got two murdering cats though that caused a stir on Facebook when I posted like a bunch of dead birds. They ripped their
When
heads
you
off.
posted your nature is metal videos from your own house.
I guess there's a bird shortage. The Audubon
Ugh.
Society was somebody talked
Yeah,
about
you
the
should have
Audubon
bells on
Society
those
said
things.
like
Well,
I'm not
someone
doing.
got mad at me for poisoning rats, and they gave me a cage to live trap the rats. And then I was, I guess, gonna relocate these rats somewhere else.
Well,
Um, yeah, I don't think that's really a solution.
they thought that through. They didn't think that through. What do you?
No, what happened was like even worse than what I had. What like I was just like, well, because I told him I was like, uh, I'm scared of rats, so you're gonna have to come get them if I catch any, and you can relocate them. And then
You're like, no, that's too hard.
I set the trap out, and something big moved the trap and like shook it, I guess, and like got the stuff out, and like the trap was like totally moved. So then I was
Whoa.
like, they were like, maybe get a bigger trap, and then it's like,
I, see,
at
you're
that
so
point,
nice.
you
You're so
you
nice.
you
You actually went out and got the goddamn cage, and you actually tried to do this shit. I'd be just
they
like,
brought it over
go
to
fuck
me, and
yourself.
it's another one of those things like you know what you can't do, hold back nature. You can't capture all of nature, right?
We
Like
have a
it's like
beaver,
if
we have a beaver
you
problem
can
over here.
try.
We have a beaver problem at our
Dude, I
lake.
have a major beaver problem on my river. Yeah,
But
beavers. You can't trap beavers. Beavers are
they,
responsible for like changing of massive parts of the ecosystem. Yeah, beavers are
you have
scary as fuck.
what? Wait, why? Scary? What? What do you mean?
Dude, they could fucking chop off your leg.
What? You stood really quietly still? What do you mean? Like a tree?
No,
I don't know.
no, yeah. Dude, I've seen a beaver. I was like walking on my little river with my dog when I had a little dog, and it started to run after the beaver, and the beaver was like, fucking like stood up, and it's like, dude, that beaver could eat my dog. Could have, wouldn't
You
eat Maddie,
stood
but it
up.
could have eaten my smaller dog, I think, for sure. For sure. What if it bit your leg while you were in the river?
I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna let it gnaw on my leg probably for very long. I don't know.
One bite
All
would
right,
be.
I'd
You
probably
think?
yeah. I don't think that. Not sure, but I don't know.
I
Like
think.
they we have a little outlet here that blocks the lake.
Yeah.
So when the lake gets backed up, the people who are on the lake front freak out because their septic might flood, and that would be kind of gross, right? So you have to go in and basically dismantle the beaver's work overnight. And there's just these fucking crazy Facebook discussions about killing the beavers, saving the beavers, who's going to take, I mean, it's just this ongoing drama. It's pretty hilarious. But
For like your homeowners association.
yeah, we have a little group, and it gets pretty heated. But I'm like, they're just going to come back. It's a lot like trying to get rid of mice. I mean, you have
They're
to
just
just
coming
go
back.
in
Yeah.
and take that shit apart. That's all you can do. I guess you could kill a bunch of them at a time, but then they'll come back in another year, or you know
A
what I
new
mean?
family will move in. It's the same like with raccoons. A
Of
new
course,
beaver family.
you've seen Jurassic
Um,
Park.
Dude, well, I think there's like regulations too about like you're not supposed to on some places like take the beaver thing apart. It's like natural
Oh,
land.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is like a big old pipe. They're blocking a pipe.
Oh, it's not a real,
It's not a
not a
river.
real.
They're just being dicks.
No, that one of the guys like they're like these people that are like, no, you can't do it. That's like nature. People get weird about that shit. One time I tried to rescue a goose and some people yelled at me. They're like, you
Don't
can't take that goose. I'm like, it's fucking dying.
don't rescue the goose.
I did rescue it.
What did you do with it?
I gave it to like a goose sanctuary, a goose place to raise it, and then it flew away. I found it in the middle of a lake. It was drowning. Got
Oh,
on my canoe, like jumped on a little life got on the
that's
canoe,
cool.
and then I put it in an ice chest and took it home. And a lady like was like, you can't take that goose. And it's like, dude, it was in the middle of the lake.
Was there any ice
It
in the ice?
nearly died. No. I had it like just like
So you were
carrying
trying to
it.
keep it cool.
Well, I was just like taking it in a
Yeah.
little carrier. Goose. I didn't have any kind of goose carrier with me. An official goose thing. Yeah, but you're not always supposed to. People get weird about that kind of stuff, like nature.
Again, I just don't give a fuck about the commentary. Like, I don't know. You're like really nice. You actually like listen to these people.
Like I'm still taking the goose. Come on, what are you doing? Yeah,
Who are these?
dude.
What
I
is this
just have
for?
learned all about nature. I've really like never really experienced nature. Now that I live kind of in nature,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you can't. Well, I've learned like nature just does whatever the fuck it wants to do. You
Yeah.
know, like, oh, I want like probably a tree fell or probably this thing happened or some fucking random thing. Nature just kind of does what it does.
I mean,
Except I guess in cities if you have like a fucking excavator or something. But
have you seen
for
the LA
me,
River? Have you seen the LA River?
the like aqueduct thing,
It's
is that the
they
LA River or is it a
yeah,
river?
they made it basically a
You
concrete river.
Yeah, you can hold back nature. I can't hold back nature. Maybe
But
I've never
I
really
think you
tried.
can hold it for a little while and you have to maintain it. But man, the LA River now has a ton of, you know, it has little islands in it with huge trees, and you can actually go canoeing in this, like, it's all concrete like this, but then little islands are forming, and we used to live
Oh,
right by
that's
it.
rad.
It's really interesting. It's like wildlife, fish this big, herons, like huge herons in this
Yeah,
weird.
so you can't hold back nature. It just will come back. It's
Yeah,
like those buildings that get overtaken.
it's the
It's like,
fight.
dude,
It's my favorite, like, Fight Club beach, where it's basically him describing, the vines growing over there's like the vines growing over the Sears Tower, and people, you know,
yeah,
cities. To me, sounds like what happened to Detroit. Where nature
yeah.
just overruns everything super quick.
Urban decay.
Yeah, maybe we should just all go to Detroit because they've got a head start on this shit. That's what I think.
Yeah, they're already halfway there. They've already suffered part of it.
Yeah, if you think about it that way, because if they got ahead of us, and we're next, I think.
Yeah, it's inevitable. You can't, it's kind of like the like trying to live forever. It's like you're just gonna have another kind of set of problems. Like there's certain things like staving off aging. It's like I don't know. I think those kind of things. It's like you're just gonna have some other weird thing crop up.
So like cloning. How about cloning? I was thinking about cloning the other day.
Dude, I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm not into it.
I don't think
I'm not into it.
So you
I don't know how you hold it back though. You're gonna have people doing it. That's what it's like. Whether I'm into it or not does not matter. I guess it's just gonna. I think someone's gonna do it with people. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
people, yeah, I mean, free will.
CRISPR. What do you think of CRISPR?
What's that? What? CRISPR?
That like gene splicing where you can, or like CRISPR technology where they can go. I don't like they're like putting it together. That. No, it's that thing where you can like edit the genome or whatever. Have you heard of this? You heard of it?
No, not this particular.
Some new technology, like you can say like, oh, we're gonna fix this thing that's like on the like chromosome level or whatever. Seems a little strange.
It's hack. It's a hack, right? The
Life
life
hack,
hack,
biohack.
life hacks. But it's like, yeah, you could also just like eat healthy, and I guess if you have cancer, that'd be huge. If you're able to do something that corrects that, I don't know. But like with the cloning thing, it's like you can have two of the same, but it's like planting two similar trees, right? I mean, this tree can bump into a big ass fucking rock in the roots, and this one could have no rocks in the middle. You know what I mean? Like they're both going to have their own path anyway. So I guess you can clone the fuck out of people if you want, unless you use them as commodities and you're just farming people like the Matrix or some shit. Then that's a completely
Well,
different.
it's another one of those things I have to kind of wrap my mind around again every time I think about it.
Do people want to listen to this?
I don't know.
You know what's funny? I'm not high at all. Or drunk. And neither are you. Well, I don't know that.
The cloning of people. Dude, why would you need more than one of the same person though? What about like a VHS tape? It gets a little like degraded.
That's true. I don't know if it works like that, but
yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't even think we're gonna be. Well, I guess they better get on the cloning in case I die in the pandemic.
Yeah,
we'll be good.
We'll be good.
Or the simulation.
That's fun too.
What's your idea on the simulation theories?
Mine is that it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't
if we're
matter.
a simulation or not, we don't know, so it doesn't matter. You still have to wake up in the morning and, put your damn pants on, whether it's a simulation or not.
Yeah, I wish I could reset it.
Reset the simulation.
New simulation. Start over and then have like the tunnel to go to the. I want this level.
In some ways, that's sort of like trying to believe that there's a God, like there's a plan. I think it's a pipe dream, like that there's a plan, that somehow this all came together in some magical way, and there's going to be an ending to this story, and it's going to be beautiful. It's like, no, it's just all.
Yeah, there's a finite answer for each of us, and we're all special. I don't really believe that.
Yeah, true. The simulation's fun to talk about, but it's also a completely like useless topic in a lot of ways.
Like, it is. Yeah.
Like it's hilarious to think there's like aliens or something somewhere like laughing at us, looking at like their little ant hill or their, what do you call it, the little ant farm.
Ant farm.
Sure. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, well, right now we have the the COVID simulation to pay attention to and like be distracted by for a while.
I feel like we're in the part of the Lord of the Rings where like someone has to fucking decide who's gonna take the ring to Mordor. I think that's where we are right now.
Uh-oh. I've never seen Lord of the Rings,
Never,
but
you never
I've
seen
never seen
Mordor?
it.
Oh my god.
Never seen it.
Well, okay,
So it's
the
not going to be
ring.
me. I know
No,
that. I'm not going to be taking the ring to Mordor.
I can't believe you've never seen it, or you never read the books either.
And
I'm
no,
assuming, no.
neither. Maybe I'll do
Yeah,
that on my break. Probably not though.
I mean, no, you should. It's awesome. Just watch the movies, and then we'll talk about it, and you'll tell me if you agree
Then
that
we can
we're.
have another quarantine podcast. Um, Let me ask you, and I have another question for you, a podcasting question. Um, Video podcasting, not through meetings. I have a feeling, this is just a gut feeling, that this audio is not going to be very good.
Why?
I don't know. That's just my gut feeling. Amateur gut feeling.
Have you
So
done
I've
this
used
before?
this. No, I haven't. You're my
Okay,
first.
cool.
I've done it. Well, I've done it on the Zoom machine, not the Zoom website. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? That little machine.
No.
The
Oh,
little machine. It's a
you're
recorder, a field recorder. I've done it
a
on a field
reporter.
recorder. I've
Yeah.
never done it on this. Someone else did a podcast with me on uh, this Google thing, and I think it's good because it's the easiest. But I've done one on this thing called Zencaster, and it was good because you could have different tracks. The audio is on different tracks, but it seemed more confusing. So I thought I made it. I tried to do one with someone the other day, and then they were like, "Oh, I slept through it because you forgot to send me the link." It's like, "Fucking Jesus, can't even get that part right." um, so, man, do you have any recommendations?
No, I don't. I don't really.
Have you ever done any of these?
I mean, I do like WebEx meetings for work, but I've never recorded it before.
Have you ever been the subject of a podcast?
I've never been the subject of a podcast.
You haven't?
No, I don't think so. I don't have any. I don't have very many people. Well, I mean, Burke has done a podcast with his little kids, which is pretty funny, actually.
Have you
But
been on it?
no, not yet. Maybe we'll do it.
I've listened to his podcast.
It's cute. There's some cute parts in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he has like a soothing radio voice. I wish I had my voice. Like when I listen to my voice, I'm like, oh wow, okay. Um, yeah. Some people have like a better voice.
He does have a very soothing.
I know some people they have that like, oh, no matter if they're saying even mean things, they just sound so soothing.
I can say that's true for him. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, this is your first podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I've gotten to know you, all kinds of things. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Thanks for asking me to do this. This is fun. Is this us
Yeah.
saying goodbye?
No, I was just kind of asking. It could be. I was just like kind of reminiscing about all the things we covered.
Cool. Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I gave you anything of value, but it was fun.
I'll probably. I'm gonna have you back. We can talk more because I have a feeling. I have a feeling that quarantine. We're gonna be in this for a minute.
You think so? I'm still fucking working. I'm waiting for my
Dude,
quarantine.
you're not quarantined yet. That's what's so weird. I'm still working too. I think I've been more impacted by the quarantine because I can't work. It's been fucking weird. Right? I've been going to work and like doing like admin things. But like
Are you rolling
weird.
by yourself? Are you doing like capoeira or something?
Can I tell you? So I have this thing where I'm like, well, all these people are making these videos, but I have to like have someone to make a video, and then isn't that sort of anti the social distancing, right?
Well, I don't know if you live with people.
But I don't live with anyone. Me and Maddie could do it, but then like
Choke the fuck out of
I
Maddie.
don't
Sounds
know.
like
I
a good
just
idea.
Maddie is like, no, I'm not doing it. I just want my business to be running again. I think that's a
Okay.
selfish need. But yeah, in the meantime, I've been learning all kinds of things about, there's always business to be
Hmm.
done. You know, trying to learn about SEO. Do you know about this? The like
Oh, the
web
search
for
engine?
Google, the Google
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a little puzzle. I just feel like it's a little puzzle. Just have to, you know how what I really think of it in my mind, how I think of it like one of those Tamagotchi pets that you just like pushed buttons and fed it and interacted with it, and then it liked you more. That's what I think of
It's
SEO
like,
like.
do you really have time for a Tamagotchi? You know what I mean?
On the most simplistic level, I feel like, oh, you gotta like interact with these different platforms and then
Hmm.
and like make things, push
It's just
buttons, make content. Um,
constantly
and
thinking of shit that would interest people, and
I am not that
uh,
interesting.
no, it's
Hence
constantly.
my podcasting. I'm like, oh, I can ask all these random people, like, how is this affecting you? I'm going to do a podcast on Monday about with some people that were quarantined in China.
Great. That sounds good.
Yes. See what happened there. I'm still like wondering, like, was it the same? And well, I think it's going to be the same answer. Like, yeah, it was basically we were just hanging out because I watched her on Instagram, like
Hmm.
hanging out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I guess if you're not in the hospital, you're probably okay, right? You probably have
totally.
you have a like fever, whatever.
Yeah, a little cough. There's never been this much concern when I had the flu.
Well, my neighbor, he's kind of older. It's like 70. He had the fever, had some
Uh-huh.
sort of a cough.
Did he get the test?
No, he's feeling better. He's a little winded. So he's like, I
Uh-huh.
probably had it. He's 70. He's not dead.
Dude, yeah.
What's Maddie doing?
Maddie's barking at something. Maddie, come here. I don't know.
But yeah, so he
Maybe a
probably
cat.
had it.
I feel like, man, before it happened, I was a little sick. And I was like, maybe I already had it. Pretty sure I already
Yeah.
had it. You know, it's
You know what's
just,
interesting? I was at Costco the other day. Well, a lot of my fucking stories are like, I was at Costco.
I was
Uh,
at Costco.
and my nose, like I never have to like blow my nose very much, but my nose was dripping like snot, like at a pace that I wasn't used to. And
Allergy season.
I'm like, dude,
I
my
have
body's fighting the
coronavirus.
fucking corona.
Yeah. No, I've basically thought myself into coronavirus like multiple times,
Oh my god, you thought
but
yourself.
I've
What's
never
your
like
serum?
I've not I've never gone and gotten a test, but there have been like moments where I'm like pretty sure I have it.
Well, there's that drive-through thing. I guess people are doing a drive-through test. Have you seen that? That's interesting. How does that work? Like you
They
stick your
go,
tongue out and they dab it and then take it to the lab.
dude,
I don't know. It's
put it in the thing. Yeah. And then you wait. I guess they're supposed to have a test that'll tell you like who all has had it, some antibody polymerase chain test. So yeah, I was reading an article about that. More
it was like, oh,
tests.
well, you had it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then
Can
you'll
I
know. I
open the
want to.
gym now?
Then you can like. It's like I want to be like, yeah, I got it and survived it, and now I'm fine.
Seems like that's going to be the case for a lot of
For
people.
most people. For most people.
Most.
Yeah. Most. Yeah. This is just really surreal that it's all happening.
Yeah, you better
I'm
get your
like,
fucking ass in
dude,
gear.
think about all the like. God, I'm kind of thankful. I enjoy children, but I wouldn't want to have to be a homeschooled parent right now that just has their children indefinitely. Yeah, they say like they may not go to school until like next year. Imagine.
What? Next year
Yeah,
now?
next
Because
year.
June is coming up. Fuck.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do with them?
I don't
I think
know.
I start digging holes. Start digging holes, kids. But if you live
For
in a
all the
condo,
bodies? God.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are these
So
kids thinking
where do you
too?
put them? Where
Where
do
do
you
we
put
put
all
them?
those kids?
I don't know. I mean, we worry about what they're doing all the time anyway. Let them do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, free range. Back to free range children.
Range children. I like
Free
that.
range. That's a thing. I think that's a thing. I've heard of that.
Dude, you should start a free range preschool. Cindy's free range preschool.
That's what
And you,
I'm like. I'm gonna need to change my thing into a childcare service from a gym.
yeah, take them over to Gold Bar. Have them play with the beaver.
Dude, Cindy's boot camp, like one of those like places where they send bad kids and they like make them hike a lot or something.
I used to be threatened with that all the time.
Dude, my parents kind of sent my brother to one unknown. Like they didn't mean to send him to one because he wasn't a bad kid, but they did kind of send him to one.
That
Yeah,
happened.
they had like a friend that worked at one, and we're like, "Oh yeah, send him to it," and they just sent him to it, and he like they just made him hike all the time and wouldn't let him feed him. And then like later, I saw something where it was one of those that like a kid died at because they like,
This.
yeah, crazy. I did ask my mom about it once, and she was just like, I didn't know. It's like,
So with
yeah.
when you're Filipino, oh, there goes your earbud.
Technical difficulty.
When you're Filipino, they'll send you, and you're in America.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, are you
Where are
still there?
you? Yeah.
Hello, hello.
I think I lost you.
I'm still here. I don't know. Can you hear me?
There. Yeah. Okay.
So like,
All right. So
if you're a Filipino and you live in the States and your kid acts up, you can send him back to the Philippines where they're really strict and they don't mind hitting kids. And one of my cousins was sent back because he was in a gang. He came back all high and tight.
oh no. So they would be like, Lian, we're sending you away.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it never really worked. But they did. When I was over there, before I was 8, I did get hit with rulers a lot.
Okay,
like,
they did that kind of stuff.
oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh my god! Put your knuckles out.
Oh yeah.
And
Dude, I saw an awesome
yeah.
Kurt Osiander video of him doing that to kids in his Jiu Jitsu class
Oh really?
in San Francisco like
Oh,
5 years ago. Yeah, like he had called it the biscuit. They like did this. They went outside. He's like, put your knuckles out.
yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, ba-ba, ba-ba. I was like, oh man, look at
That could hurt.
But it's like, well, his school is in like a place where you probably don't want your children wandering around.
Like
Just randomly in the mission.
I,
Like
I'm,
if I had a school, I would be like, no, don't go out there and hang out. I don't
I'm
know.
like I'm kind of like a connoisseur of like different kinds of getting hit. like you get hit because you broke the rules in a classroom. You get hit because
Yeah.
you break the rules at home, and then you get hit because people are dicks. And
Yeah.
I would say,
I've been hit for all of those reasons.
would you say that for me, like a lot of anger stuff stems from the ones where you are not sure what the hell you did, but you got hit? The other ones I was okay with. There was like a bargain in my head of like, okay, well, if I come home really late, I'm gonna get smacked by my grandma. But
Yeah.
I'm good
It's
because
a
I
known
know it's gonna happen.
consequence.
Yes,
It's a
yes,
known.
exactly.
It's like a transact. Like I did this, and I know that's gonna happen, and I'm
Yeah,
okay and at peace with it. Yeah.
yeah.
Versus
Just getting fucking, yeah,
chaos, getting hit. Yeah.
totally different. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Totally different. Totally different. Yeah. Not good. Yeah.
So yes.
That's a whole nother podcast topic. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I'm gonna have my podcast go on many varying things. I like the most awkward conversations and like awkward podcasts and those kind
I
of
like
things.
awkward.
My first one was gonna be called Self-Help Seminars for Myself, and like where I like get people to explore the most awkward conversations. That's great. Yeah, it's, all of those childhood things are pretty crazy. I have like a lot of those things in my family where you're like, oh, I think sometimes I'm like, I love exploring awkward things and like, oh, I don't want to talk about random things that are not real. Let's just talk about what's really going on.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, and I'm like, I don't really want to engage on like a level where it's like, are we talking about this or are we talking about this whole other thing through this? I'm not into that. So it's like, that makes for awkward family get-togethers. Like, oh, okay, but I think it's like it makes for good relationships. If
Yeah.
you like,
Yeah.
it's harder, but it's like like better
Well, at
in
least
the
it's
long run.
real. Real
Yeah,
is real is neither hard or easy. It's just real. You just you know, gotta fucking work through it. And that's just,
yeah,
I'd rather be in the real world than pretend like everything's gold. No, it's
dude,
not. It might be
dude,
today, but like, you
that's
know.
like a weird thing that I realized, uh, like the make believe that people tell other people, themselves, their kids, that it's like, dude, how do I be a part of this? Because that's not real. And I don't know how I'm interacting. No, I'm serious. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy, but I've been like, dude, how do I deal with this situation? Because that's not even real. I'm like, am I going to be a part of that excuse? Or am I going to
Well, that's
interact with, or like, is my interpretation of this real? It's like, dude, this is trippy. I don't know. I just
well.
like,
Like, remember we were talking about the PC stuff? We've talked about this before
yeah,
with like the hardcore feminist political correctness and this
yeah,
reality that they're trying to create that in a functioning, like in a functional day-to-day scenario, a lot of those things don't exist. Like when you when you tell me, like a person who works with men, maybe like 99% of the time they're men, and you're telling me that this is how things should be, uh, and then I go, well, wait, that's not how it really works out there. It's
yeah.
you can't draw lines of like, this is, I'm a woman and I have these rights and it's like, it's true, but you still have to navigate in reality, and things are changing, but you have to navigate in reality.
Yeah, it's all, well, I'm in that same space of like, okay, I mainly interact with mostly dudes that I work with,
Mhm.
mostly guys, and I came from like total like PC feminism. And then like,
Mhm.
okay, now I'm going into this space. And I
Mhm.
was like, it was a little shocking, but then like, oh, I found a lot of things that I didn't think I would have found there. Lots of cool people, lots of, it was like really like good in like the way that I opened my bubble to like, living in Olympia is a little like isolated and like,
Mhm.
protected. And then like, oh, now I hang out with more people and seeing how that goes. Um, it opened my mind a lot. And I'll see like, oh, I used to think like this way or that way about groups of people. I remember like, oh, I was like an anti-cop kind of kid, like fuck the
Mhm.
cops. And it's like, oh, I hung out with a lot of cops in jiu-jitsu, a lot of
Yeah.
cops.
Yeah.
I see a lot of cops that are doing like really cool things, and like wasn't always like fucking hate cops or anything, but it's like, oh, you have like these like notions that you just think of in your mind, the other,
Well, I mean,
like you
you
think
you've
of
already
how
you already created a conflict that
yeah,
was never really there, and
totally.
it's like, it's the same thing with work, where you could create a conflict between men and, like, I'm an engineer, so like a lot of them are awesome. Most of them
Yeah.
are amazing. And my greatest supporters and champions of like getting me ahead to really cool stuff have all been men. But then there's like the tiny percentage who are just fucking assholes. And you can't confuse the two. And you have to like, it's a case by case basis. And if you carry
Totally.
you carry that bad experience into the next, then you've kind of cut yourself out of a lot of really positive things. So really, yeah, it's custom. Everybody's custom, right? You gotta navigate kind of in an intelligent way. Um, you can't treat everybody the same. You just can't. So
No. Well, and I found, and I haven't always done this. I've definitely like over the past few years tried to be like way more like thoughtful about like, no, I'm gonna be like more open to these situations that I
polite,
even thought I was polite and
nice to meet.
professional, nice and but it's like, dude, in a way, it's like I joke about it and stuff, but it's like it's a better way to be in the world. Do you know what I mean? I find that it's just like an easier, calmer way to be in the world. Like, it's definitely not my nature to be that way. I like see like, oh, I have to consciously make decisions to be and see people as like an ally or as like a commonality versus seeing people as like, oh, this is gonna go this other way. And I have like a lot, even within the business, like, oh, I've had experiences where things have gone like sideways in different situations. And like, okay, that doesn't have to reflect upon like what's happening now. That was one thing. Now is
Mhm.
now, right?
Mhm.
What and then like putting my mind towards like I want my mind focused on what I want, not what I don't like. And like
Mhm.
just
That's,
direct I
yeah,
feel like, it's
absolutely.
a little like woo
Negative
or a
versus
little like
positive,
hippie,
for sure.
but it's like, man, through the year of like building out the gym and like there was a lot of like uncertainty and there wasn't a lot of tangibles and there was a lot of like nervousness. It's like I just have to focus my mind on this is the goal
Hmm.
and that's where I'm going. It's just happening. It's not, like it's like there's all this uncertainty and there's all these points where it's like, oh, it could just fall apart, but I'm just gonna like focus on this. It's and it seems like I think of like previous me's would be like that's so fucking naive, like that kind of thought. But it's
Yeah.
like it tricks your mind. It's like it is a life hack of like it tricks your mind into feeling like, okay, now it doesn't even if it's gonna go wrong, it doesn't really matter. There's gonna be time for that. The
Also,
stuff
like
right now is most important.
the interesting thing too of since I'm a very kind of extreme person where things are either going to work this way or they're going to work this way and nothing mixes. And I've
Yeah.
realized no, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's a little bit of both, and you have to be open to both ideas.
Yeah.
And you could totally destroy opportunities if you are not open to both things, even though you're not comfortable with it or whatever,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And it's
Oh, I've
a lot is like a lot of it I could tell is my history or my childhood or all my protective shit that have built up through the years. And then you think that you see these patterns forming of like, oh, I've seen this before, I'm going to avoid it or I'm going to
yeah.
destroy it or I'm going to then you kind of have to turn around and go, wait a minute, let's turn off all that shit and then just be open. And it
Yeah.
kind of presents a whole different world. And not that I'm a professional at this at all, just because I'm, still battling a lot of childhood stuff, but um, certainly a little easier.
Yeah. It's cool to hear because I do those things and it's like, yeah, I'm not a professional at it,
Mm-hmm.
but when I feel like I employ like those kind of strategies or that mindset or like
Mm-hmm.
how I like engage, it's like I've seen the good side of it. Like, okay, it
Mm-hmm.
can be this other way. And that's like it's not always that way. It's not always good. It's like, oh, I learned this skill and everything is great. It's like, no, no, no. It's like if you practice and you like keep your mind like in a like the place it needs to be and not let it like spin off other places, things can be
Dude,
better. Or
I could,
it can feel way worse, and it's like I've seen one side and then I've seen the other side. And it's like being around people that don't like bait that up. Like I
mm-hmm.
used to be very bad, like, oh, I'm gonna go be around people that like kind of like feed that energy of
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm gonna spin off. And it's like, dude, well, that was part of me moving to Gold Bar. I have to like get that under control and like learn about myself. It was like I can go one way or another way. I need to like take some time to figure out what I'm about more. And like, yeah, you see, like you know, jujitsu, you're trying to be like healthy and control your body and control other people. And it's like, now I want to control my mind, you know, and I see that as like very valuable that like I've like neglected in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
So it's like very interesting when you're like, oh, I can see like these techniques or like this skill. Like, okay, it works just like jujitsu. It's like
Yeah.
it becomes more like my interaction with things is like more finessed, or like I can like understand, like, oh, I see this person's doing that. I can recognize those things more, where it's before it was just like crude insanity, and I get like that, you know, like spin off into like and then it's like no, 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 slow everything down and try and just see what's happening, and you can see other people being thoughtful, and then you can see other people like, oh, I see what you're doing, I've done that and I don't want to do that, I need to go over here a little, or you know, like being more aware of that has been interesting for me. I never really like knew about those things and like took those things seriously or like explored those things, and now it's like, oh, I'm like into it. It's like the new frontier of like what you can control. You can that's the only thing you can control.
So
Your mind.
I went, I did like EMDR therapy for a while, for like a year,
Mm-hmm.
close to a year. And I learned a lot of like interesting tricks for your brain, or tools, um,
Yeah.
to control a lot of your reactions, I guess. And one of the most useful ones that I've I've found for myself is building the idea of like a house in your head, and there's different parts of you. Like there's um, the child part, there's the reactive, angry part, there's like for me, there's like person who's the intellect part. So anyway, there's just they're all in their different rooms, um, and I'm kind of in the front of the room. The person here and now is in the front of the room, and sometimes like the negative parts of me will come up, and I could tell that by, you know, when they say the word trigger. The word trigger is used so loosely these days, but something occurs that is so similar to events that were traumatic to you that your brain kind of reacts in a similar way from that traumatic event. So like you become hyper protective, or you become angry, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
your
Hyper
body
reactive in
protective,
whatever
your
way.
body protects itself, or your mind protects itself. But then you can't think, like you can't be a fucking professional anything if that's who is in charge, if that's who's in front of the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, probably on a weekly basis for me, I'll go and just check in, like, basically imagine my house, and I'll check in on everybody. Like, I'll go room for room. Is everything cool? Everything cool? Just to keep everything like mellow in my brain because I'm
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
Yeah. You're like, are we okay, or do we need a little extra time in this room?
Yeah, because sometimes you don't really realize it, but a part of you is getting aggravated, and it
Yeah.
comes out in weird ways, and you lash out at people, or you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
it's just, it's not who you want to be in charge of you right now. It might have been really useful for you back then when you were going through some terrible shit, but right now it's like, okay, you can chill now.
Yeah. We don't need to be that
Okay,
way.
we're okay right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. You're
So
not dying.
no, exactly, exactly. It's that where you're like, you're not dying, or you're not going to be hurt, or you're not going to be any of this stuff. So you go to that kid's room, or whatever age you think that person is or was, and you kind of just have a conversation with yourself, like, is everything cool? And if you, for me, like, that's a weekly kind of thing that I have to do, just so I don't fucking, drive my car into the next fucking person.
Yeah, no, that's a great little skill. It's crazy. Like I like, yeah, it's so, well, not crazy. It's just so interesting to learn. Like, oh, there are all these like skills to get through it. It's not like
Well,
unmanageable.
that's the
You
cool thing
know,
about
people don't teach stuff that I don't think like as
no.
much. Like, oh, how do you manage? Those are valuable skills that I don't think are taught to people enough. Like
Hmm.
I didn't learn those skills.
And
Or
you don't
I'm
really
learning
think
those
about
skills. I learn the skills like more later, like how do I deal with these situations, like
it. Hmm.
talking to people or like, like trying to figure it out. But like, oh, that would be a good skill you could give someone early on, to understand. And I'm like, I wish I would have had these skills. But then I'm like, maybe people tried to give me these skills and I wasn't ready for them. I'm very like aware of that. I think some people may have been like, hey,
Well,
try these things.
you also come to a point in your life where you go, okay, well, I can't function like this anymore.
Totally. Yeah. I'm
You know
sick
what I
of
mean?
fucking
You're
all
like,
this
what this
nonsense.
shit's gotta fucking stop
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah. No,
getting
I've
stomach
been to
aches
those where you're like,
or
dude,
headaches.
this is not working.
Yeah, because your body's going to fucking kill itself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You get sick, you have
Yeah.
headaches, you have stomach aches, like all like back pain. People who have like
Yeah.
chronic back pain. It's like that's nothing physical.
Stress.
That's something else. I mean, and
Yeah.
you have to be willing to like look at what is going on in your life and really dig because sometimes that shit wants to come out, but there's somebody just pushing it down. And it's like you
Well, and
don't
I
win
don't think
that.
it gets that point where it's not encouraged because people just go and try and give you medication.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, just like do this. That's I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I just try and resist that. I know there's like people. I know I think it helps some people, but it's like,
Mhm.
dude, don't think that that's the path for me. I
Mhm.
think it's like better to for me to like do all the hard like exploration of like why the fuck am I this way. I
Mhm.
have a brother and he like battles all of this stuff and it's like, man, now I think he has to battle the problem of like the medications. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like this
Yeah.
like holy shit, and I just feel for him and feel for the situation, and it's like, dude, it's a
So what's his
just a
deal?
very um man, he has like chronic depression. He's like
Mm.
been like not able to work,
Oh
like
man.
like finally he was like on and off for his jobs, but will get let go and then on FLA and then all, and it's just like I think, looking through like the family, you're just like, oh, I think it's always kind of leaned towards that, and then just like his life has just like gone in that other direction, like where it's
Mm.
like can't get out of it, and it's like holy shit, and I know other, I have friends that way. I think that was like one big thing that I found jujitsu. Like, not doesn't save everything, but it's like I can turn to sport and like just like hyperactivity and
Mhm.
like at least like drain that, like
Mhm.
any ill feelings. It's like, oh, I can release valve it this way. You know, I see other people like, oh, you haven't found that thing
Mhm.
for you that like enables, I think like the ability to burn off or allow like release enough of the pressure made it tolerable to like deal, like now I can start looking at things because I'm not
Mhm.
always on the, like, oh, I'm just gonna blow up. It's like, okay, you can manage, and like, oh, I see, like, you can't, you know, it's like seeing people like that can't even be in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, can't function. It's like, man, that scares me. Like thinking
Mhm.
like, what if that would be me? So it's like, okay, just really always trying to find ways that that's like proactively, not
Mhm.
like, oh, I recognize that's like a history of my family. I see people in my family going that direction. It's like, oh, I need to like be very mindful of like how I'm doing, what
Mhm.
I'm like around. Like I'm like a big believer in like what you let in, what kind of stimulus you need to like, or else like, yeah, it's pretty heavy when you see that, and then like
Mhm.
everything in the world, like people start to get like, I know like, oh, it's easier to like sit on these other problems than like, well, I think the biggest problem here and now is again like internal problems, not coronavirus or, you know, whatever like manufactured problem. It's like we can think about those, but it's like, no, the true problems to be like tackled are the internal problems. And if everyone did that, things would be a little better, you know, and if everyone was geared towards helping people do that, I think the world would be a better place. You know, it's like people would still die. Old people would still die, right? You know, but it's like, man, we're so worried about these things we can't really fix. It's like there are things that you can and it's like I try to focus on that and yeah, it's heavy. It's
that
you
shit's
know,
hard
I see
enough. That shit's hard enough, right? The like
it's a big job, you know, and it's like I wanna be like fulfilled, you know, like I think like like I feel lucky in my job. I feel lucky I get to pretty much do what I want to do. And it's like, oh, I want to like take that time to explore myself more and you know, feel like I'm fortunate to have that opportunity and you know, talk to people about that kind of stuff. So
the
yeah,
thing
it's
the thing that I find interesting about doing the my little house that I talked about is if you don't pay attention to them, they get pissed.
mhm. Yeah.
And
Well,
like
it's
you
like
have
anything.
like if you do, you know, I could probably get into taking drugs or whatever, but they're still pissed off or they're still sad or they're still this. And you have to figure out what is going on with each of these individual parts.
Yeah.
It takes time, and a lot of it's pretty scary. It can get pretty scary because it's stuff that you've never wanted to examine, you know. But again, if you don't, then it just comes to fuck you over
It's gonna
eventually
be
in
there.
one way or another.
It's that same thing of like holding back. We could hold back fucking the flood, we could hold
Exactly,
back the virus, we can hold
exactly the
back
same.
like the feelings, but
The
they're gonna
same.
fucking come out. They're gonna come back. They're gonna like, you know,
You gotta
you can't
listen.
really hide from it. Yeah, you can't hide from especially the stuff inside. It's like you can run away, but it's like it's still there. It's like you hear all those things. It's like, dude, it's true. You know, it's like, okay, that's like real. I learn it and then I unlearn it. I forget. I'm like, oh, I already learned this lesson. I have that in like my work all the time. I'll like something will come up. I'm really into processes right now. Like everything should just have like a process, you know, it just so I don't need to expend the mental energy on like it's a whole new question every time. This question. What kind of question? Do you know what I mean? There's like all these little things that come up. It's like, why am I treating this like a whole new question every time? It's just make it the same answer. It's very easy. It's like those people that wear the same shirt every day. I'm like, that seems soothing.
I
You
love that.
know?
I used to do that. I used to wear the same
Dude,
shit every single day.
it's like I want that kind of solution for as many problems in my life as I can. It's just like this is just a solution for that problem. This is because it's like then you can get on to like more important problems or like conversations.
Or we could
Um,
just get coked out and like run for office and like
could do that.
convince everybody of a bunch of lies and make a bunch of money.
Dude.
And just whore yourself out
Yeah.
for like Dow Chemical, you know, whatever.
Yeah. 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 I have to like decide,
No,
do I want to be self-fulfilled or do I want to be a great business person?
we don't need that fucking forest anyway.
Yeah.
Or
Can all just
water.
sit we can all just sit and hook into our VR or whatever and fucking
Get some,
work from home, be sad, take some pills.
isn't that funny though? The what is it? What's the word I'm trying to say? The extremes of people who want to live in the mini house, what are you, the minimalist house, who want to, you know, grow their own vegetables and want to get the fuck away from all the all of the city life. They want to feel the earth. They want to feel like each other, like with you know, with jujitsu or you know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
there's this portion of the population, then there's a completely different fucking part of it who probably don't want to feel anything, who want to acquire everything.
Yeah.
And it's just we have to exist together. So it's such a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah, how do those get along? I don't know. It's
Well, I mean,
interesting.
yeah, I mean, if you saw The Lord of the Rings, we might be able to talk about
If I had any really
life
cultural
lessons.
references that most normal people had, yeah, that happens for a lot.
Or I just fucking think everything is The Lord of the Rings.
What's what's the little like alien looking dude?
The alien
The
looking
the tr-
dude. There's no aliens
he's
in Lord.
I know he's not an alien, but he's like kind of troll like. Do I see him on a meme?
Gimli? Which one?
No, like I
For
don't
the
know.
love of God, please watch Lord of the Rings. You've got
I'll
time right
try and
now.
watch it. I have a lot of time
It's a
on my
lot.
downtime.
It's incredible. Like there's so many interesting lessons to be learned in that. From the kind of macro life struggles to internal struggles. It's really cool.
Okay.
I'm a total fucking nerd for Lord of the Rings. I'm not a nerd,
Well,
but there's certain things that they're just like.
for that, that's like kind of your like reference for life, the Lord of the Rings.
I think that it works in a lot of ways, yeah. And it usually people know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, normal people have seen it, but not me. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen all the Star Wars, only the older ones.
Yeah, Star Wars is a
I don't
fun thing,
I
but it
don't
doesn't.
know what a Mandalorian is.
Oh, that's fun too. He's cute.
Yeah.
Tell about
That's
cute.
is that the
Like
baby
that's all.
Yoda?
Mandalorian is the main character, the guy in the that looks like I don't know what the hell his name is. Boba Fett. He's in the
Okay,
he's in the
yeah.
he's in the metal outfit, right? He's like
Yeah.
the little warrior guy. That's a Mandalorian. It's like his people are
Okay.
Mandalorian, and then he has
Okay.
to like take care of little baby Yoda.
He
I don't think
raises
you're gonna
baby
learn any
Yoda.
life lessons. You're not gonna learn any
No
life
life
lessons
lessons.
from
Okay.
Mandalorian.
Just get
So
rid of that. Go back to spend my time with Lord of the Rings.
yeah, watch it like at least 30 times, and then maybe it'll
Okay.
start.
Then it'll then I'll start to put it to my life. Well, I may have time for that 30 times. Isn't there like 7?
3
3. But they're like 6 hours long each, right?
3 hours. Three, three,
Yeah.
3 by 3.
3? Okay.
You got
Okay.
it.
So
You got this.
I got it. I can do it. I'll do it. All right. And then we can have another podcast about how I feel about my life overlaid on Lord of the
The Lord of the
Rings.
Rings and
Yeah.
where we are.
Dude, yeah, who knows where are we going to be next week? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, you'll be coming to Open Mat.
Yeah, I can do that.
Dude, I wish. Hopefully. Hopefully soon. Power of positive thinking.
Cardio is gonna be done. No cardio.
Dude,
Ugh,
I've eaten a whole bag of Reese's Pieces, a
wow.
whole bag of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and
Wow.
yeah, in 1 week. Yeah, I try not to eat candy, but then I was like, dude, I have the feeling I need some candy. And then that's why I don't buy candy, because I eat it all.
I bought gummy bears
I,
and brownies because I never do that. But I'm like,
yeah,
the fucking end of the world's coming. I better have some sweets.
I don't need class. Yeah, the apocalypse. I did eat a bag of Swedish fish too, so that's like a lot of candy for this week, and I haven't really done any exercising.
That sounds like spackle. Sounds like you're gonna have a hard time pooping.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Spinach.
I need the Korean barbecue to open again.
Yeah, dude. That was like your thing.
Kind of.
No more
Yeah, after
vegan
I
raid.
fell off the vegan wagon and went all meat, all meat all the
How do you
time.
feel though?
Dude, I felt way better when I was just eating. I was eating like spinach and salad, but just meat, no real carbs. Way better. Way
Wow.
better. Way less like bloated.
Yeah.
And then I bought a bunch of panic candy.
That's a band name. Panic Candy.
Panic candy. I felt like a real loser when I was buying it. It was like a couple of last week. Yeah, bought a bunch of candy. Everyone was like in the stores, like scurrying, getting their shit. You know, it was a bummer. So yeah, but the candy was great.
Wait, so were you in Kirkland?
No, where would
Kirkland
I thought I bought that? I think I bought the candy in Woodinville.
Okay. Dude, the epicenter. Fucking Kirkland.
Dude, who would have thought that this would have happened, like, in Kirkland? Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Who would have thought? And that we would know the first recovered victim. It's fucking crazy. And
is she really the first? Is that? Did I miss that? First recovered victim?
Or I guess she's not a victim. A coronavirus? Are they called victims? Sorry.
What is
patient? Patient zero?
Yeah. Okay. Patient.
It wasn't. She wasn't patient zero. That was the guy at the old folks home. But she's the first. The week is done. Man, what a week! I don't really feel like this is what I thought a pandemic would feel like. I felt like it would be more exciting. Right? Like usually the pandemics you see in movies like are more fast paced. This one seems like very slow.
I was like giddy. I was in Costco kind of excited. Like, this is kind of cool.
About the pandemic? Do you think you're going to go to hell for that?
I'm probably going to go to hell for other reasons, but we just add it to the list.
Yeah. Yeah. What else would you like to add about your thoughts about the state of the world?
I just fuck, man. I really am concerned about like deployment of the National Guard in certain cities. That's a little bit of an overreaction or something. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is that about? But I don't know what's going on. I hope something cool happens. We're all just sitting ducks. Like, there's these fucking assholes at the top making these decisions.
Yeah. Making all these things happen.
We're still good.
We're still good. I feel okay. I think it's okay. I feel confident that I'm going to be here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm thinking they built the wall for Mexico because Americans are going to start flooding Mexico.
Going to go into Mexico, run away. Yeah, go that direction. Maybe go up to Canada.
Yeah.
They closed the Canada border, I guess. Who knows? Yeah, I kind of wish I would have got I wish I was on like a regular vacation. I did have a friend who like thought he might not be able to get back in the country. That's kind of crazy.
Where was he?
But I don't know. It was a secret somewhere abroad. But they'll be back, so we'll see. Yeah, who knows?
I've been trying to go on a vacation for like over a year.
You were supposed to go to the Philippines. When was that?
I'm never going to fucking. Everything's canceled.
Everything's canceled. Yeah, all travel is canceled.
And
maybe even travel to like Seattle.
This cold weather is killing me.
Maddie's gonna come join us, maybe.
Oh,
barking at a cat. Barking at the cats. Yeah. So, when will you plan your vacation? Let's talk about some more heartbreak.
Oh, more heartbreak. Well, fuck. We were supposed to go last year, and then my husband almost got killed in a car accident, and then this year we're trying to go, and everybody's dying of a pandemic. So something's going on the road to the Philippines. Yeah. I just want to get the hot weather. That's all I'm really after at this point. I can't go to Maui, and I probably can't go to Mexico. And there's even a question of whether I could drive out of the state. Am I going to be able to drive back in?
I don't know.
These questions, you know.
But if you can just drive, well, yeah, where would you drive that was even warm? California, but they're on lockdown. You have to just sit.
I was going to go to New Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some sort of desert situation.
Yeah, complete social isolation, you would be good.
At this point, I feel like I should probably just hang out. I mean, I'll be thankful I live in a nice place, and I'm gonna hang out in a nice place.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Do your part to uphold the world. Keep the world running by staying in.
The people, the memes of like your grandparents went off to war, and all you need to do is sit on your ass in your house.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
It's so appalling to even bring that up, to think about like my grandparents in World War II, like watching their friends getting murdered, and the like things like this. Like, is it? I mean, I guess it's funny. Is it funny? I guess you haven't spoken to your grandparents. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's like, it's pretty different.
But I guess there was like I'm not a World War II historian. Well, the World War II was a bad war. The war against the fucking coronavirus just seems a little different in a lot of ways, right? There just seems like a lot of like non-similarities.
It sounds like Donald Trump's just gonna fuck it up. He's gonna go out and gonna kick coronavirus's ass, from what I'm.
Yeah, fucking maybe with the Space Force. I don't
know. So crazy, like to watch whatever he does. I don't even know what that is. It's not news. I don't know what it is anymore. But we live in a crazy time. This is the guy. This is the guy that is in charge of all this shit. And it makes Jay Inslee look like a level-headed, really cool dude who's like telling you what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you flip over to the president, and it's like craziness. Like you've just taken a fucking crazy pills. It's too weird. Crazy shit.
It's the whole the world is surreal. I just like, yeah, it's
gaslighting in a massive scale.
A massive scale. Yeah. Get ready to see what is reality. I don't know. It all goes back to that. Yeah. Everyone's on a whole little different reality or pushing a different reality. It's all fake news. It's all, let's like go there. All fake news. I heard about some Russian bots. I heard someone was like, no, that wasn't real. That was Russian bots. It was one of the coronavirus things. Like there was already the Russian bots were in it. It's fucking crazy.
They like saying the word Russian bots is just fun to say. Or like,
yeah, and you can blame
that. Robots. Like there's these communists, like they're all in red. They're robots just infiltrating your fucking.
The modern day Red Dawn. Yeah, they're coming. Yeah. Fucking. Yeah, I don't know. It seems so much. I don't even know if we can dive into the Russian bots. I think that's a whole nother discussion.
I don't know very much
Russia
about
in
it.
general. I don't know. I don't know much about any of the Russia stuff. I did read this book about the Magnitsky Act, about that guy who got killed. Do you know about this guy?
Mm-mm.
He was kind of like calling out the guys in Russia for being corrupt. Kind of a lawyer or something.
Let me guess.
He got fucking axed. He got fucking murdered. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a friend that is really tying it into like the white nationalist stuff and some Russian stuff and some bots. Dude, everything can spin into so many directions. I get lost. I couldn't even handle fucking Lord of the Rings. It's too deep. I can barely handle this.
I mean, some days I feel like, yeah, these guys like are brilliant in their planning of the overtaking of the fucking taking people's money through the stock market, taking your rights. But then at the same time, I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. It just depends on the day. Like sometimes I just, these guys are a bunch of monkeys, like trying to get as much shit as they can while they can.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anymore. Again, you gotta just keep it. Gotta try to keep it simple.
I just got to kind of think about my little house. I got to get my little house, my mental house in order. That's enough.
Microgreens.
Yeah, microgreens, my little house, battle of, I've won the battle of the rodents in my yard. I feel very accomplished with that.
Yeah. What'd you do there? Just the beavers?
Got rid of the chickens.
Oh, the chickens. You just got rid of them. But now you have eggs. I mean,
that's
you probably
okay.
eat eggs now.
I wasn't eating eggs. That kind of was like, why do I have these chickens and I'm not eating the eggs? I was giving them to Maddie. Maddie was eating them. And then just gave them to the neighbor.
I wish you could borrow my cats because they will bring it in here and they will eat just the head.
Dude, I'm not into that. I've seen that before.
Just the
fucking cat that did that. It's gnarly. It's gnarly.
Ugh.
Yeah, sometimes they'll like gut them. I had one. Yeah. Back to that whole thing. Nature is gnarly. Fucking gross. Yeah.
They're fucking brutal. They're murderers.
Yeah.
I respect them in a lot of ways. And I thank them. Thank you for, that I don't have to do it. I thank them every time. Every time they leave a little mouse for me, I go, thank you. When that might be encouraging them to get more, I'm not sure. But they know that I'm happy about it. I let them know.
Yeah. Do you let them eat it? Do you like encourage them to eat it? Do they? But they only eat the head.
Yeah. And you'll hear that crunch. I'll be watching TV, and
have you had to kill any of your chickens yet?
No, I don't know if I could do that.
Like if they got sick? I had a chicken that got sick, and I had to be put down. Oh. I didn't do it. I couldn't do it.
But no, I can't. I don't know how I would do that.
Would you make Burke do it? What are you gonna do when that happens?
I know some people.
My neighbor Bob. I just got my neighbor Bob to do it. Yeah.
See?
I couldn't do it.
There's like a
this
woman.
Is silly.
There's like a woman who has machinery and like has the whole like.
But that's for healthy chickens. Yeah, I knew a lady who did that. She was like, "I'm the fastest chicken killer in the world." I'm like, awesome. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think if you had like just a sick chicken, you would do it in that same way. Really? I guess you could kill it. So I was when I needed to kill one, I was asking everyone at the gym like, "How do you kill a chicken?" People were giving me like, "Oh, you just get a hatchet." And I was like, "I don't own a hatchet." And then like, "Oh, get a knife." And it's like, I don't know.
It's still going to be like moving around, trying to get away from you because you're trying to kill it. I can't deal with that.
No, it's hard. I think my neighbor Bob did the like shake it method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the way to go. Just because it's like, I don't know, does it get bloody anyway?
Well, I think he opted to do it that way because then if you cut its head off, blood would shoot out.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Want that? No. Yeah, my chickens also got this thing called fly strike. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you don't want that. It got like maggots on it.
Oh.
On its vent. Fucking gnarly. Yeah, it's fucking gross.
Yeah, those things. I think
I'm
gonna live forever, and we're gonna have a bunch of chickens that don't do shit, just fucking freeload.
Do they give eggs still? After a while, they stop even doing eggs, or you're still all at eggs.
They're good. They're still going.
How old?
3, maybe 4. Yeah.
I think mine were like 6 or 7. They can live. It slowed down, but they were still doing it. Dude, chickens can live for a long time. I don't think people realize that. Like 20 years. Are you prepared for that? They might
just die.
Did you take them would you take them to the vet? I'm always curious. Like I had to make boundaries with myself about like, how much will you do to save a chicken?
I don't think I'd spend more than like $100.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I decided my limit was it had to be something you could buy at the co-op.
Okay.
Right? Like you could.
Like if it has an infection or something, and you knew that if you took this pill, that it could live.
Yeah.
I mean,
vet visits. No vet visits.
No vet visits.
No vet. No.
Okay.
No. I
I've
never
never
took the
had.
chicken to the vet.
I've never been challenged with that situation yet. I don't know how I would respond.
Have you, have you thought it through?
I have had to. They've had the what is it called? Where their feet get swollen.
From rats chewing on them?
God, Bumblefoot. Bumblefoot.
I've
They
heard
it's
of
called
this.
Bumblefoot. It's like they get infected at the soles of their feet, and so they don't walk right, and their foot gets super swollen. But all you got to do is poke a little hole in it, and like it's like popping a pimple. It's like all of this shit comes out, and then you have to tie it up and put like a bunch of disinfectant or some alcohol or something or peroxide or some shit. That actually
Yeah.
worked. Like,
You did that?
yeah, I flipped the damn chicken over, you know, cut a little hole at the bottom of his foot.
Yeah. Like kind of
And
like draining an ear, but a
yeah,
foot.
exactly. There's so many videos on how to do it. But
Huh.
I did, I did have a chicken that like was backed up. I don't remember the part of their body that if shit gets stuck like right here and it gets really
Yeah.
swollen and you
Yeah.
can like push the shit out. Like you push it,
Uh-huh.
you push it, and then it barfs it all out. So I
Did you
did
do
that.
that too?
Yeah, I did that with one of the chickens, and
Huh.
she did barf it out, whatever that was, and then the next day she died. I'm like, did I fucking kill this chicken? I might have like,
That's not a success
I
story.
might have
Then
like
no.
broke its
Too
neck.
much.
I might have done something where she died the next day. Yeah, but
Yeah,
there
I
was
had a chicken that it had like the maggots, and I tried like it was like on the video on YouTube. It's like, yeah, you could just pick them all out with a tweezer, and you'll just need to do it like all day long. I was like, dude, I'm not that committed to this chicken. I don't
oh,
think
you got rid of
like,
it?
dude. Well, I like gave it some baths, and I
Yeah.
tried to like clean it all up, and then it just died. So
Oh.
I didn't.
They
Bob
don't
didn't have to.
it
Bob
doesn't take
didn't have to
much.
kill that one.
Oh, it doesn't
Dude, Maddie killed one chicken, like
oh.
when it was a teenage chicken, like right the first set. She kind of just, I don't know what happened. She just
I was
crushed
thinking
it.
about it.
And then she hid on, she kind of like laid on it and didn't want anyone to know that she killed it. And then after that, she just kind of herded them around.
It's funny when you said teenage chicken, I thought about a chicken with Wayfarers, like Ray-Bans and like a leather jacket.
Yeah, you know when they're in that kind of gangly chicken phase.
Yeah,
Like they're the
pretty
fuzzy
young.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have that like little fuzzy, little janky feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I may be putting some goat and sheep on my property.
Cool.
That might be a. Apparently, there's ways to do it where you can just have like. Well, someone was telling me you could have like a donkey guard them. I'm gonna have a friend help do it. Well, is really in charge of it. I'm just the person with the
You have the
land.
whole structure.
Dude, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna be responsible for killing any of them. I'm not gonna be responsible for like any of. I think I just had my fill with the chickens of like pet stewardship.
A friend of
But
mine has.
I would prefer to. I would like to have them there, and because I can eat all the blackberries.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool. A friend of mine had a goat, couple goats, and they get pretty big. And so when he's like, well, one thing about goats is when they die, you got to dig a big hole.
Dude, you gotta eat
They're like
them. Gotta
confused.
eat them
Oh, you
before
got.
they die.
Oh my God, you can eat goat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared of goats as well.
Wait, so you're
there
gonna get
was,
sheep and goats?
dude,
You're afraid of
they're
them?
fucking mean. They're fucking mean.
But why are
I
you
had
getting
like a
them?
goat that like I had a standoff. Um,
You can't let them
like, cause
know.
they'll kind of like, they'll try and hit you.
You gotta stay. You stand your ground. You gotta stand your ground.
Yeah, good luck. Have you ever stood your ground with a goat?
No,
Yeah, they'll
I
hit
can't.
you. They'll
Can't wait to
headbutt
try
you.
it. I kind of want to
Dude,
get a goat just to see if I can beat up a goat.
I think, well, there's like
You
all
choke
kinds
the
of
fuck
different
out of it.
goats. Dude, I don't believe you could even choke a goat. The little goats are cute, but I think some of the goats get really big.
So wait, do you think about jujitsu with animals? Like, do you think about how would you take down a goat? Like, how would you? Can you armbar a goat? Can you probably put them in a triangle?
Mm. No, I'm actually like most of nature scares me, honestly.
Really? Really? You don't think about like
I always think about like, could you choke out like you hear those stories of kids that choke out pit bulls and stuff?
hmm.
Do you think you would do that? I always wondered, yeah, would I use my jujitsuing if if I got attacked by a wild animal? Have you heard the story of the guy who choked out the cougar? Cougar
Yeah.
Phil? Do you think that's
Cougar.
real?
Yeah. I mean, they have tracheas, don't they? I mean, what the fuck? They have necks. They need to breathe. You can plug their nose up.
No, there's a local. When I first started jujitsu, I heard
Oh,
this
there's a
story.
guy. There's a
Yeah,
guy.
there's a guy. There's a
Okay.
guy. There's a guy. I actually met the guy. So there's a guy named Phil,
Cougar
and
Phil.
I like someone told me like, oh yeah, this guy choked out a fucking cougar with a rear naked choke, and I was like, no. And then I looked it up, and it said there's an article in the Stranger about it, the guy
Hmm.
who did it. And then I like later, like 10 years later, met him, and I was like, dude, did you choke out cougar? Is that real or is that a lie? And I'm still like not sure if it's real or if
What do
it's
you
like
say?
a. Well, he kind of said he said yes, but I didn't really believe him. Uh, but apparently, he actually just got. You know how the people got eaten by the cougar like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was like
The
North Bend or
fucking
something. Was
yeah,
that
the guy
North
got
Bend?
drugged back to the cougar
Yeah.
den.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they interviewed Cougar Phil again about like, how do you feel now that someone got eaten? Do you still think about that day? And so like, yeah, he has like notoriety from being the guy who choked out the cougar.
The guy
Maybe
you
he did
call.
it. Maybe he didn't.
He's the guy you call
I don't
when
know.
there's cougar issues in Northwest. Call Cougar Phil.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the foremost expert on possible
But
cougar attack.
maybe you could do like a side by side, you know, fucking conversation where you go, I don't think you killed that cougar.
How exactly did this go down? It was just like I was like, I
Naysayer.
just, uh, dude, well, no matter what, I probably should not have even brought it up. I like to encourage the story. Like, whether at this point, I think it's a great story.
I don't think there's any turning back now. It sounds like you doubted that he was able to rear naked choke a little tiny. I mean, how big is a cougar's neck?
Do you think you could do it?
I don't even know the size. Are they big? Are they small? Are they like just bigger than
Okay,
a fucking
have
house
you
cat?
ever
Because that'd
wrestled
be pretty hard to choke out something that's that small.
that small? And a fucking cat is really strong.
They have claws.
They have claws. I, dude, it could have happened, but I'm just like, did it happen? I don't know. But I think it's
You
a
were
great
not
story.
convinced. You were not convinced.
I am not
Even with the guy
convinced.
there, you were not convinced.
I'm not convinced. I wasn't like I was looking in his eyes and I was not convinced.
It there's only two people that could say it happened
Him
or
and the
not.
cougar.
Him and the cougar.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I'll go with that. It happened.
Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't heard that story because a lot of people, it's like kind of one of those things that jujitsu works, even on a cougar.
I've heard that from another thing where it sounded like he just grabbed its neck with his hands. I don't remember a rear naked choke, which to me would make a little more sense because I would imagine they're not as huge as you think. But how big is a
Yeah,
cougar? Are they like 5 feet sprawled out, or like how big is?
dude, I think they're like 60 pounds, 70 pounds.
Oh, I could fucking take on it.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Do you think? Then I've seen the story of the little kid that choked out the pit bull.
Yeah, I mean,
Possible. Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's possible.
totally. I think, yeah, it's weird when that shit goes down. Like when my dog and another dog like had each other. I like to do this thing where I like take their not like their snout and I smash their like their
Jowls.
jowls and you just smash them into their own teeth. sort of, so that they don't like the feeling of that.
Yeah.
That's how I get Luna to release. But basically, I'm putting my hand in their mouth.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think if you're.
Do you think you'll like try the other method next time?
What's the other method? Just choking her mouth?
Yeah.
One at a time? Okay, you stay there. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, how would you choke out both of them?
I don't think I could do that.
Do you grab like both snouts? No, just one. Just the offending.
No, I had both. I had both.
Your dog used your both of them pre-bite.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I hate dog fights. They're such a bummer.
Yeah, the energy just gets fucking weird afterward. Because he was here. It was my cousin's dog. They were visiting, and Luna and that dog just did not get along. And it was like every time they walked past each other, it's just this tense moment every single time.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's just boom. So I just like
fucking had enough of you. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it was prison rules, man. It was totally prison rules. Like, this is Luna's territory, and that dog was getting a little sassy pants, and it was like ready to fucking fight to the death right there.
Yeah.
It was so stressful, but we like separated them and all this shit. But eventually, I mean, really, it was some bullshit because they didn't really hurt each other. It was like a bullshit fight. They were just made me
sounded terrible. But
yeah.
not.
I mean, they had a hold of each other, but they didn't bite through.
Okay,
like, they had maybe like little scars and stuff, but nothing that did any major damage to each other. So I'm like, you guys are fucking assholes. You're just being assholes.
Yeah, all that for fucking nothing.
But yeah, still stressful though.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of dog fights. I guess most people aren't a fan of dog fights. Yeah.
Dude, but yeah.
Like, you realize, oh, they're pretty fucking strong. They got some sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Like,
Pit bulls are strong. Jesus,
yeah.
Pit bulls are really strong.
Yeah, I had a Jack Russell. She got in a fight with basically a pit bull, American bulldog or whatever, the big pit bull, over a rotisserie chicken. And like, they like kind of got into a little spat over it, and then we got them apart, and then like a week later they saw each other again, and they were still fucking pissed, and the other dog just came over and chomped my dog like almost in half. I was like, holy shit. It was like really surreal because it was just like just happened, and then was like the dog got away, and then it was like running, and then I was like, oh shit, my dog got like chomped, like big scar. Yeah.
But she survived.
Oh yeah, she survived. Had to wear the hat, the cone, and then she was like, it was at my friend's surf shop, and then she was just like, would not get out of the car there ever again. She was like, I'm not going there, not going there. Fuck that dog.
At least she's smart to know that. That's good.
She had a little trauma over it, but yeah, she survived and was totally fine and whatever. I was like probably more traumatized because I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've covered the real gamut of trauma today. Dog fights, pandemic. Yeah.
There's so much more.
So much to cover. Yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot.
That's cool. I did too.
Really got my handle. I'm like getting my finger on the pulse of Seattle. The Seattle response to COVID-19.
Yeah, we were both
You're pretty much unaware. You barely unaware. Me only aware because I can't go to work. Yeah, I'm glad we're healthy.
Seems you know
what?
A lot of people are in the same boat.
I hope this isn't going to be our in 10 days. You're going to be like,
should we say goodbye?
We're so glad we had that time to connect.
Oh my god.
Because she's gone now. Yeah, I hope I didn't just jinx us. But yeah.
Well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, I'm glad I had made these memories. gonna be great.
Oh my
I
God.
hope we can look back in 6 months and see that this was all just silly. Yeah.
We'll, we'll walk through the leftovers of our city, big
Yeah.
piles of ash, and just I'll try to I'll walk over to Linwood because the roads will have been just completely destroyed.
Maybe come in some kind of a Mad Max vehicle. That would be
Maybe
rad.
I'm gonna have to pee into like some sort of filter that turns it into drinkable water. Remember that from Waterworld?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That.
I'll head
Yeah.
over.
I look forward to these times.
Oh my
I can put
God.
my fighting prowess to work.
And then we can
Yeah.
all pray to the Lord of Amazon. Well,
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. We're gonna be able to just stay at home forever and
mhm.
get anything we wanted delivered. Yeah.
I think
And
that's
then
what
do
it.
virtual
Okay,
jujitsu.
I just realized something. Mordor is like East Lake, where all the buildings, Amazon
The
buildings are.
globe is
Yeah,
the sphere.
yeah. And
Yeah.
somebody has to take the ring to Mordor.
Someone's got to take the ring to Mordor. It's not going to be me.
Yeah, I mean Gold Bar. I'll be down here at the lake. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's so fucking pathetic. There are people who are actually suffering in other parts of the world, and their like whole life is like suffering. And here we are, wondering what we're supposed to be like
Wondering how
about.
a pandemic should feel.
Oh God. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to talk about this to put this all into perspective of like
Yeah.
how insane this really is.
Yeah. I feel like you really assuaged my fears. So that's great. Yeah. I feel like it's been a productive conversation.
Cool.
And yeah, let Brooke know that I'm going to be calling him to talk to him about how social distancing is impacting the music business,
Mhm.
child music business. Maybe
Okay.
he'll have some Zoom tips for me.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Yeah. Want to hear about, he has to put on all those, basically just child wrangling in the new world, the virtual world.
Maybe you can do points or something. You can do
What
negative
is
points.
what is the virtual version of like the the knuckle wrap with a ruler?
See, you're already coming up with this sort of economy,
Yeah.
currency. So you can
Yeah,
get
I'll have to
negative
kind of think about, yeah,
points.
how will that work? Yeah, I don't know. Some kind of Minecraft game.
You hear people are smuggling shit through Minecraft? Where did I hear that from? That was interesting.
What? I don't
They're
even
smuggling. They're
half the time I
smuggling.
have to talk to children and be like, "Are you talking about the real world or Minecraft?" And usually they're talking about
There's
Minecraft.
like some data that's being hidden in parts of Minecraft that is like that people are being censored or some shit like that in some parts of the world, and they hide it in Minecraft. Isn't that
Oh, I
crazy?
haven't heard about this.
I'll find it's yeah. My information is so spotty. I'll find it and give it to you, and
Yeah.
maybe make myself more aware of what exactly I'm talking about. But it's interesting enough
The
that
new
it's stuck
threat
with
that's
me.
coming through Minecraft. Now that we're all on lockdown, they're gonna get us the
It's
stuff through
cool.
Minecraft.
It's
I hear
fucking
there's a
cool.
new virus coming through Minecraft.
Well, you just got to get the firmware, the new update. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I've never actually Minecraft either. So I'm safe. I don't have it on my browser, on my system.
Oh my god.
Okay. Thanks for chatting. I
Yeah,
think
thanks
we've
for.
talked for almost two and a
Oh,
half hours. So
holy
when
shit.
people are on lockdown and they need human connection, they're gonna have this. So thanks again.
Or jibber jabber. Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be great.
good to chat. Let's chat soon. Roll soon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
come and visit
Yep.
once we open after the apocalypse.
Have an post-apocalypse party.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. All right. Thanks,
All right. Bye,
Lian.
Cindy.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, if you're still here, you're a real trooper. You made it through the episode. So I appreciate you giving your time. And also, I appreciate Lian for the good conversation and for helping me process all that's going on in the wacky world. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have a great day. And check back at cindyhales.com to see who else I've talked to. I've got some good people on deck. I think Jack Toffer, Seth Grande. Let's see who else. Johnny Flavin from Ivan Salavari MMA. Marcher Aaron, and lots of other interesting people. So, like I said, check back and I will get them up as fast as I can. Till then, have a great day.